The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Something always breaks when we are on the road with the show. The Jets finally have an offensive coordinator. Former Jet Frank Reich is back as the play caller for the offensive side. Let's break it all down. It's the Jake Asman Show, live from Super Bowl LX in San Fran. Let's hit it and get it started.
Live from Radio Row in San Francisco, California. It's Super Bowl week, baby. Patriots and Seahawks rematch. Some of the biggest names in sports and entertainment will be right here. Put your seatbelts on and get ready, Asmaniacs. It's the Jake Asman Show.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It is time to talk about the offensive coordinator for your New York Jets. Frank Reich has officially been hired. And guess what? That means Aaron Glenn now has, to quote him, apparently in these meetings, a head coach of the offense. And look, when it came down to it, of the 5 interviews that the Jets had with Frank Reich, or the 5 interviews that the Jets had with coordinator candidates, Reich was the best of the options. He was clearly the best of all the options. Now, that's not saying much. I don't think Jet fans wanted Greg Roman, who's not known for being able to coordinate a successful passing attack, or Darrell Bevel, who hasn't been an OC in years. And ironically, as we sit here ahead of a Seahawks-Patriots Super Bowl, he was the OC that didn't give the ball to Marshawn Lynch at the goal line. But I think Frank Reich is a guy that at least he's a former quarterback. Clearly, he has some familiarity with Aaron Glenn. They were teammates together. Apparently, they maintained a relationship throughout the years. And Frank Reich's an adult in the room. I think that's the best way to describe Frank Reich. I think your floor is probably raised with Frank Reich above what you got last year from Engstrom. But at the same time, do we really know what Engstrom was? Tough to truly evaluate him given the quarterback situation. We'll see what the approach is now at the quarterback spot. I think just people saying, oh, well, here comes Carson Wentz. You don't remember how it ended between the Frank Reich-led Colts and Carson Wentz at that time. Didn't end well. I don't think that is necessarily going to be the Jets plan at quarterback just because they brought in Frank Reich. Now, Jacoby Brissett, who's under contract with the Cardinals, perhaps he's a guy the Jets could look to acquire. He did have some success in Indianapolis when Reich was the head coach. But I think ultimately, in terms of what the New York Jets were looking for, they wanted an adult in the room. Aaron Glenn wanted someone that could just handle the offense. And we could debate whether or not that makes sense with Glenn taking on a bigger role on the defense as the play caller. But Frank Reich's an adult, and he's a former quarterback. And I think we all expect the Jets at some point, maybe not in round 1, certainly not at pick 2, to take a quarterback in this draft. Maybe it's someone with their second-round picks, or they move back and they take someone in the 3rd round if they acquire a pick there. But this feels like a logical hire given the alternatives. Once they moved on from Engstrom, who are you going to get? And again, no one was dying to hire Frank Reich, and here's why. Over his last 4 years, he was fired midseason by the Colts in 2022. They were 3-5-1 with the offense averaging 14.7 points per game. 2023, they were 1-10 with Bryce Young in Carolina. He didn't make it through the year. The offense was averaging 15.7 points per game. He was out of football in 2024, and he was 4-8 at Stanford when Andrew Luck called him and said, hey, Frank, I need you for a year as I'm trying to rebuild the program and stabilize things. The only thing that concerns me with Reich is this just about getting another paycheck before he calls it quits? And again, I'm not saying Frank Reich is going to half-ass this. I think he cares. He'll try and do the best job he can. But this quote from Frank Reich, when he took the job as the interim Stanford coach in 2025, this stood out to me. Zach Rosenblatt tweeted it this morning. Quote, I did unretire just for this year. It's a 1-year thing, but I'm excited. I'm all in. It's going to be special. So he came out of retirement to help Andrew Luck, and now he's getting another paycheck here to go work for Aaron Glenn and the Jets. That's kind of how it feels a little bit. But again, Frank Reich is going to work hard. He's going to do the best he can. But no other team was dying to hire Frank Reich. So I think the Jets raised their floor as far as getting an adult in the room as their offensive coordinator. But this is not a hire that's going to be universally praised. And again, really, as we said with Engstrand, how it's tough to evaluate him without a quarterback. Now it's the same thing could be said about Reich. Like, what's the Jets' plan at quarterback? They're going to draft somebody. Right? It's not going to be like last year where they completely neglected the quarterback position. It will not be like last year. They will draft somebody at some point. The debate is it Ty Simpson at 16? Is it Trinidad Chambliss if he's in the draft at pick 33? Is it Garrett Nussmeier at pick 44? Drew Aller if he gets healthy? I don't know, but you know that they're going to add a young quarterback to the room. And then I think the Jets need to sign 2 veteran quarterbacks when push comes to shove in free agency. Almost replicate what the Giants did last year. Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston, and they then made their move to go up and get Jackson Dart. Like, that's the question I think you have from a Jet standpoint. Hiring Frank Reich, okay, raise the floor. He's a professional adult in the room. What's now the plan at quarterback? And it better not be Carson Wentz. I don't suspect it actually will be. We are live from Radio Row, breaking down the Jets hiring an offensive coordinator, Frank Reich. This was the statement that Aaron Glenn released as part of the Jets announcement on their official website that Frank Reich has been hired. Quote, Frank has a rare combination of experience, creativity, and calm under pressure. Head coach Aaron Glenn said, he's lived this game from every angle as a QB in this league and as a coach who's led offenses at the highest level. He is unique in his ability to see the game for what it is right now. Frank can adapt when appropriate, understands offense and how to utilize the strengths of players. I'm looking forward to how he will help this team have success. So there you go. Frank Reich giving you the breakdown. Now, I just realized my microphone was not connected here, so I apologize for the crappy sound system here. It was picking up the background mic on my MacBook, but now you guys hopefully will be able to hear me a lot more clear through my fancy headsets. The pain of being on the road. Don't even get me started on some of the things behind the scenes we've had to deal with here, including $1,100 on this internet, which is working great. Now, I will say this, right in front of us, it's going to be madness here. You see all these cameras here? They're filming James Harrison and Joe Hayden tape their podcast, Debo and Joe. Also taping their podcast will be Shannon Sharp and Chad Ochocinco. So it is going to be a zoo by our table. Our neighbors are Chad and Shannon. Unk. So get ready for some madness on the show. All right, I'll tell you that much. Appreciate everyone who was here, everyone who's tuned in. Again, hiring Frank Reich was the best of the options for the Jets. I rather Frank Reich than Darrell Bevel. I rather Frank Reich than Greg Roman. Now what I think we want to see beyond the conversation of, all right, what's the plan at quarterback? What does the coaching staff look like for the Jets? What is the plan for the New York Jets now for the rest of the staff? You know Frank Reich is going to be the play caller, to quote Glenn, the head coach of the offense. Can they get Greg Roman on now as the run game coordinator? You know, can they get Darrell Bevel to be the pass game coordinator if you're trying to add just a whole lot of experience to your coaching staff? I think those are the questions you have, from a Jet lens now. What exactly is the plan in that regard? Can the New York Jets go out there and can they hire more experience to the staff? Are there going to be any young up-and-comers on the staff? Sounds like they're going to retain the offensive line coach. Does that actually remain the case? I thought Steve Hayden did a pretty good job, all things considered. Does he stick around? You got to hire a full staff now, and it's February 4th. But you got the 2 coordinators in place. We know Glenn will call the defense, as Brian Duker has the official title of DC. And then after that, okay, Duker's the DC, Reich is the OC. What now? My early prediction is Kirk Cousins for the quarterback of the Jets. I read this morning that Reich and him have a really close relationship, even though Reich has never, ever actually coached him before. They have bonded over their faith, apparently. Cousins could be available. He kind of feels like a floor raiser in the way that I described Reich. Some stability there, and maybe they draft someone. So I do think there is a strong possibility that Kirk Cousins could be a Jet. Just kind of connecting some dots here among the available options for the team. Comments, questions, super chats, they cut the line. Thanks to everyone who's tuned in to our Radio Row coverage. We are presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. A look at the odds for the game Sunday, 4.5 favoring the Seattle Seahawks. And we have yet to have a guest on the show so far this week, and it's only Wednesday, that's actually picking the Patriots. The line is held at 4.5. The over-under is set at 45.5. We've yet to have a guest on the show that has picked the Pats.
The MVP odds, Sam Darnold, of course, is the favorite to win the award. Typically, it goes to the quarterback of the winning team. And with Seattle being a 4.5-point favorite, no surprise that Sam has the highest odds at plus 110, followed by Drake May at plus 230. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. I want to play you something that aired on WFAN this morning. Boomer Esiason, former Jet, Long Island guy, longtime friend and confidant of Frank Reich. He got dinner with Reich last night. And at least if you want to be encouraged, if you believe Reich is being honest here and not just trying to praise his new employer that's paying him a couple $1 million, this was Boomer relaying what Frank Reich thought of his experience interviewing for the Jets. And this was before he officially got the job, for some context.
We spent about 2.5 hours together just going through pretty much everything. You know, he thought he had a great interview yesterday, really appreciated the professionalism, understood exactly what was going on over there, that they had Darrell Bevel in, that they had Greg Roman in, and they were doing all their due diligence on everybody, making sure that the right guy is going to be hired. And he said he was thoroughly impressed with the building, with the practice facility. He was actually blown away by it. Like, you know, you don't realize, like, when we go over there, we kind of take it for granted.
Well, yeah, and we've been there several times. We know what it is now, yeah.
Yeah, and this is the first time he was exposed to that type of thing. And he was like, wow, this is really amazing. Like, and, you know, everybody has a perception of what's going on and everything else. All I can tell you is that the dinner we had last night, he said it was the interview, the timing, the questions, the in-depth aspects of what is trying to get done over there. He came away really impressed, and he's been in a number of interviews, and he felt like this one was really well done, and he felt good about it, felt very confident about it. And, you know, hopefully, like I was telling you yesterday, I said 24 to 48 hours.
Yes.
So now we're starting into the 48-hour part of this.
Yes.
And I figured today that the Jets would make a decision one way or the other. I think I know which way they're going to go. But, you know, you never are, I think, totally comfortable until the ink hits the paper.
Well, the ink has hit the pad. And Frank Reich is officially the offensive coordinator of the New York Jets. And again, I'm not going to sit here and celebrate the hire. I'm not even convinced Frank Reich is better than Engstrand. I would have just stuck with Engstrand. But of the options for the Jets, again, Darrell Bevel, Greg Roman were the two other finalists. I think they got the best one, Frank Reich. I do believe that. Now, you look at the other coaches that Aaron Glenn's going to have to replace. We know both coordinators have been replaced, but you got to now find a new D-backs coach, defensive line coach, pass game coordinator, linebackers coach. There's offensive assistants that have been fired that you got to replace. This graphic was made before the tight end coach took a lateral move to go jump ship and go to Cleveland as Todd Monken's tight end coach. So does Reich have a staff? Is he going to go out there and put together some names we've heard of, or are there going to be any young up-and-comers? Will anyone who was on his staff at Stanford this past year be a part of Frank Reich's coaching staff? You know, that's really the question. But Frank Reich's a pro, and he's a former Jet. And I will say it is kind of ironic. They both were on the Kotite 1-16 team, and Aaron Glenn has been compared to Rich Kotite through a season after how bad year one was. So there's that. Now, can Aaron Glenn turn it around? He better. But yeah, you do have two guys that were on the 1 and 1695 or 1996 New York Jets. If Glenn goes 1-16, shoot me in the face. Oh my God. Dylan writes in, Jet fans will hear this and say Reich is lying. LOL. Generational poo-pooers. Dylan, you're more optimistic than most, though. Jet fans are just angry, man. We just went through 3-14. This offseason's been a cluster of. You know, you were in Mobile. Everyone we talked to about the Jets, they laughed. Like, it's tough, man. I don't even think Frank Reich's a terrible hire. I think it's okay. It's fine. But, you know, Frank Reich was going to retire until Andrew Luck called him. Now, all of a sudden, he got a chance to be Glenn's OC, make probably $3 to $5 million, and then call it quits after a year. It's not a bad gig for him. It's really not. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Shout out to Charles Lichter, who became a channel member. Charles, you are the man. Ladies and gentlemen, it's an emergency live stream. Frank Reich is the OC, and we're going to do a raffle at the end of the stream. If you entered yesterday because of the tech issues, we didn't get to spin the Wheel of Champions, but we're going to raffle away a Jets jersey on the show today. And as promised, every membership to make up for the lack of long-form live shows because of our special programming out in the Bay Area, everything is double. So, Charles, you have 2 raffle tickets for signing up to become an Asmaniac. Our weekly prize, we added a signed Namath helmet. We're going to do it on Friday, live from the Super Bowl, as we do every year when we broadcast it. We got our top 2 prizes. One is a signed Joe Namath helmet. Prize 2 is a Super Bowl III framed replica ticket. Prize 3 is a signed Garrett Wilson helmet. 4 is a signed Joe Klecko jersey. And 5 is a C.J. Mosley jersey. So those are the prizes for the raffle, and we'll do a jersey raffle at the end here. Appreciate everyone who is tuned into our live coverage from Radio Row. Dominic D'Angelo in the house. What's up, Dom? I did Kirk Cousins. I'd like that with tempered expectations. You know, could Kirk give you the Ryan Fitzpatrick 2015 year as a best-case scenario? You know, could Frank Reich and Kirk Cousins be Ryan Fitzpatrick and Chan Gailey, Jet fans, if you want to be positive? Like, could you come up with that as, like, the best-case scenario for the optimistic Jet fans out there still holding on to something? Maybe. Maybe that's the plan. I don't know. I do think Kirk Cousins, if released, is going to be a significant target for the Jets. The Jets do have a good O-line, so they can protect him. I think Kirk's a pro. He's smart. He's played in different systems. I could see him and Frank Reich getting along. My early prediction is Cousins and a rookie as, like, the primary options for the Jets. Maybe it's Cousins re-signing Tyrod to a 1-year deal, and then you're drafting, like, Garrett Nussmeier or someone of that ilk. You know, Cole Payton or someone. I just don't want Carson Wentz. I really am anti the idea of bringing in Carson Wentz. I just don't think that makes sense. He's also now going to be coming off shoulder surgery, so I'm not convinced that he's even going to be healthy. Frank P. writes, and when they fire AG, if they give Reich the head coach, we are doomed even more than now, my God. Well, I mean, look, if Glenn gets fired in season, it means the Jets got off to another horrific start. And if he got fired and Reich took over, he'd be the interim until, what, the year ends, whenever that would be? Like, if people are making the joke online, oh, Aaron Glenn just hired his interim head coach. Okay. Aaron Glenn's got to win games. Like, he can't be looking at it like, I'm going to get fired. I can't hire anyone that's proven, because then if I get off to a bad start, you know, they can't fire me in season. That's not true. They could definitely still fire him. And Aaron Glenn's got to be thinking about not just, like, getting through the year. Oh, I made it. Like, Adam Gase didn't get fired during his second season. The Jets went 2-14. He made it through. I think Woody might not even fire Glenn. He might just let Glenn ride it out for the year, then fire him. So it might be easier for the Jets to attract a better coach if they say, look, we gave Aaron Glenn 2 full years. You know, his record over the 2 years was, you know, let's say the Jets go out there and win 5 games in total in 2026. He had 8 wins through 2 years. Yeah, we're moving on, but we gave him a chance. And no one could say, oh, Woody was impatient. He acted too quickly. I don't know if you could say that if Glenn starts like 1-5 next year and he's 4-19 overall as a head coach and Woody pulled the plug, but it'd be a little different from that standpoint. Ozzy wants to know, what about Joe Milton from the Cowboys? I'm good. Jay Quest says, I would take Cousins in a heartbeat. I think he's a pro. I just think Cousins could be competent. Aren't we just tired of watching just like guys that can't complete a pass? You know? I think Kirk Cousins could be a competent pass catcher or pass thrower. Could run whatever offense. And again, like the issues for Cousins, oh, he's old, he can't move very well. Well, the Jets have a good O-line, so they can protect him. And can he operate the offense? Can he find Garrett Wilson 8 to 10 times a game? Like, come on. Veteran Jet fan, if the Jets go 7-10, fans will be pissed we didn't march for Arch. Well, at that point, then you got to hope that, did the Cowboys bottom out? Did Green Bay bottom out? Did Indy, without a clear quarterback plan, bottom out? Are there more than one quarterback that is a first-round pick in this draft a year from now? I believe there will be. I don't think it's just Arch and no one else. I don't think it's Mendoza and nobody else like this year, a year from now. Next year, you could have Arch Manning, Julian Sayin, Lenora Sellers, Dante Moore, C.J. Carr, Darian Mensah, Jaden Mayava. You'll have a lot more quarterbacks that are going to be available. So I think from that standpoint, that is when you would expect to potentially see the Jets use those picks and move up for a quarterback if they have to, or maybe they're bad enough where they're just picking near the top or at the top of the draft and they're okay. I think that's how you got to look at it. Again, hit the like button if you guys are just tuning in. We got an exciting guest that's going to be joining us live at 9 a.m. Super Bowl winning head coach Brian Billick will be sitting right next to me. We'll sit down with him, get his perspective on what Aaron Glenn went through in year one. He knows Frank Reich. We'll get his thoughts on that. And, of course, talk about the Super Bowl with a Super Bowl winning head coach. Comments, questions, super chats, they cut the line. Amanda Madison writes in, we have the great Frank Reich. I prefer Tanner as an up-and-coming guy. The Jets remind me of the blind leading the blind. What do Woody and AG do well? Absolutely nothing so far. I can't argue with that. But for those of you who looked at their options, and if you objectively analyze what those options are, it'd be tough to sit here and say that of the 5 they interviewed, that Reich is not the best. Clay Hobbs says 5 wins would be a miracle. I mean, they won 3 this past year. I don't think 5 is asking for that much, but it is the Jets, so you never know. I guess I can't sit there and say they're definitely going to do that. I mean, their win total is probably going to be set around 4.5, if I had to guess, by the time we get to week 1. It was 6.5 going into 2025. I think we'll probably be around 4.5 going into week 1. That's just my early feel on it. Probably will be the lowest in the league, like them in Cleveland. We'll see, though. I mean, if the Jets make a big splash at quarterback, maybe they sign Malik Willis. There's an unknown with him, and there's some upside there, maybe. I don't know what exactly the plan is at QB. You know, my prediction is Cousins, but that's just a prediction. There's nothing directly pointing to that right now. All right, load up your calls, by the way. Comments, questions, super chats, they will continue to cut the line. We are seeking raffle entries as well. We got over 650 people in here live right now. I'm going to gift 5 memberships, get some people in our weekly raffle for all these signed Jets items that we're giving away, including the Namath helmet in honor of the Super Bowl being this week. So 5 of you are about to get a channel membership. And who's doing the halftime show, Joe B?
What is this? Who is this guy? Bad freaking Bunny. What is that?
Oh, what? What is this? Who is this? 5 memberships from yours truly have been gifted. The following 5 listeners are now in the raffle. Frankly J, Dean22, Jacob 8042, View Fertillo Joe 951, Big Bobbert 5334, all in the Asmaniac raffle. Appreciate everyone who's tuned in and supports the show year round. You guys make it possible to do this for a living, talking about a team that has failed to make the playoffs for 15 years and counting, and here we are. Tank for Ty says Ty Simpson will be the pick at number 2. He very well might be. He very well might be. Should he be? That's another question. Will he be? I don't think so. I'm not buying it. He could be. Can't put it past the Jets. I think if anything, the Jets would try and do something similar to the Giants if they like Ty that much. They would use the fact they have the 16th pick, and they would use that pick to move up and get Ty. They wouldn't bypass, I think, a really good player at 2, whether it be Bailey or Bain or Arvell Reese. I think it'd be similar to what the Giants did, where they took Abdul Carter and then they moved back into round 1 to get Dart. The Jets, I think it'd be easier for them to do it because you already have the second first-round pick at 16 overall to use to take them. So if they love Ty, and I'm not advocating for this, but I guess I could see the Jets doing it because they're going to be desperate for a quarterback. I could see that being the move. Not at 2, though. I'm saying they can move back around. One of those. Hit the like button if you guys are just tuning in. Appreciate everyone out here. Let's get to some of your calls. I got open phone lines. Want to hear from some Asmaniacs on the fact that the Jets have themselves a brand new offensive coordinator, and the guy is Frank Reich. You know what? Screw the calls. I got Richie here. Let's get the Jet fan perspective from Richie. Sit down. Come down. Sit down right now and talk to us about Frank Reich. The people are demanding it, Richie Mollura. They are demanding it. Hold on. Do the old switcheroo. Let's get Richie on the set here, and let's get his immediate thoughts on Frank Reich. Sit down, Richie. Come on. We need you. The people are dying for the Jets media take on Frank Reich. Here you go.
I've never been wanted more in my life.
Sit down. Come on. People have been asking about you. What are your thoughts on the Reich hire?
Yeah, it's what I expected, man. This is definitely what I expected. I know that they did their due diligence. They had 5 candidates they're interviewing, including Frank Reich. And I feel like at the end of the day, this was one of those moves that I think needed to happen, especially if you move off of Tanner Engstrand. You got to get someone with experience. A lot of people say, well, he's a failed offensive mind. In my opinion, the last time he was an offensive coordinator, he actually was successful. He was a failed head coach. So from that
He
perspective,
didn't call the plays, though, in Philly, to be fair.
yeah, I think from a perspective of being in Philadelphia, going to the Super Bowl, winning it with Nick Foles, getting a head coaching gig in Indianapolis, 4 years there, then going to Carolina, failed with Bryce Young, goes to college. He's quote unquote unretiring. I don't even know if that's true to come to the Jets. And based off of all the people that are available, I think that, is there anybody else out there that would be a better hire than a Frank Reich in terms of who would be number one interested in the job and who would have all the resume? So I'm not looking at Frank Reich expecting this offense and help a top 10 right away, Jake, because we don't even know who the quarterback is yet. But based off the options, I feel like it was the best case scenario.
Yeah, I think we have a similar take. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say that Frank Reich's great, but I think he raises your floor. He was the best of the options. I would have kept Engstrand and tried to hire a guy like Frank Reich to help Engstrand with quarterback development and all that, but I think it's the best of what they could have done given the circumstances.
Exactly, and that's how I look at it, right? You look at everything, and I'm a little still upset about the Tanner Engstrand situation. I kind of like Tanner Engstrand, and I feel like Aaron Glenn trying to get him and demoted, and obviously Tanner wanted to go somewhere else, but they had to pivot, and I think there's a lot of interesting situations going on with the Jets, with the defensive coordinator situation, and Wink Martindale, and now Woody's getting involved. I don't know what's right or what's wrong, and I want to ask you your thoughts, Jake, about that report from Morash of WFAN. Is that real? Like, what's your take on that?
What aspect of it? That Darren Muji's going around telling people that, like, he has regrets taking the job? That I don't buy at all. Do I think Woody put the kibosh on Wink? I do, but I think that's the right move. Aaron Glenn, you're making $12 million a year. You call the defense. We'll spend money on a guy like Frank Reich to try and fix the offense.
So do you think, based off of what we went into this offseason firing all the coaches Aaron Glenn did, now seeing the coaching staff starting to come together, what's your thoughts of the staff now?
My thoughts on the staff is that it's a major to be determined, because I got to see what the rest of the assistants look like. I like Glenn calling the defense. It's better than Wink. I don't love the fact that they got rid of Engstrand, though.
Yeah,
I don't think Frank Reich is automatically an upgrade. I thought the move would have been hire a senior level offensive coach to work with Engstrand. Don't give up on a guy that you were touting as an up-and-coming star offensive mind a year ago. I just think that's weak.
Yeah, and now the next question, Jake, is, of course, going to be the quarterback. I mean, is it going to be a free agent signing? Is it going to be a trade? Are they going to go into the draft? I think that, there's rumblings. You talked about Kyler Murray. With the Jets landed at Kyler Murray, what's your thoughts of that, Jake?
Brutal. Do not sign Kyler Murray. He doesn't fit. Again, Frank Reich has only worked with tall quarterbacks, so signing a 5'10" QB doesn't feel like the kind
is
of
there
move
a guy
that
you really want based off the options? Because the options are pretty thin.
I think they're going to end up with Kirk Cousins. I was just talking about it on the show. Apparently, him and Reich have a relationship. They bonded over faith over the years. I could see Kirk Cousins finally being a Jet after he used the Jets 8 years ago for leverage to go to Minnesota in the first place.
And in that scenario, you drafting a Garrett Nuss or somebody like a Ty Simpson.
Are you on the Nuss bus in round 2?
I may be on the Nuss bus. I interviewed him at the Senior Bowl. I was able to see him. I feel like it's worth a swing. If he's there at 44 is where I would definitely do it, unless you trade back and get a pick in the 3rd round. And I think that the draft process, when the NFL Combine begins, I think that Garrett Nussmeier is going to be one of those risers that could be someone to go early in the 2nd round. And who knows, man? We've seen crazy things happen in the NFL draft. He can even go in the back end of the 1st round, because remember, he was a top pick entering LSU's last season, but things went south. So now he's probably not going to be a 1st-round pick anymore.
Super chat from the Nick Shine. And by the way, $5 super chats. We'll put you in the raffle. So, Nick, you are in. Appreciate you. Thoughts on the Jets hiring Frank Reich, their future interim head coach? Your thoughts on that? Because the Jets start like 1-5, 1-6. There is a good chance Frank Reich is the interim head coach.
That's the funny thing. I asked on my X account, what's your guys' thoughts, Jets fans, Frank Reich? He's like, he's our future interim head coach. You just got to love it. Listen, I think that at the end of the day, if Glenn gets fired, it's obvious Frank Reich is going to be the guy to step in as an interim head coach.
Given where the Jets are now at, what do you think is the next big thing that we're discussing? Is it a trade? Is it a contract extension for someone like a Breece Hall or Joe Tippmann? Do they get out in front of it? This kind of was the last thing we were waiting for as far as a a big deal pre-free
course.
agency? Is there going to be another big thing that happens pre-new league year starting, the Jets actually signing players?
Yeah, the small things I'd say before the big thing that's next for the Jets is building the staff underneath Frank Reich, who's the run game coordinator, who's the pass game coordinator. There's some guys like they retain the wide receivers coach and the offensive line coach, but that's pretty much it. So assembling the staff underneath the coordinator is going to be next. But in terms of the big splash, it's probably going to be, are they going to re-sign one of their own before free agency like they did with Jamie and Sherwood? Are they going to pick between John Simpson and Elijah Vera Tucker and snag them both, snag one of those two before they hit the open market? Is Breece Hall going to get franchise tagged or a transition tag? I think that's going to be the next step before we enter free agency.
How was the media party last night?
It was a lot of fun, man. EA Sports headquarters. It was pretty epic.
How far
Very
was the
different.
commute on the shuttle, though? I heard there's some traffic.
Yeah, it was on traffic. It was like 45 minutes to an hour. It was an interesting, last year was a weird one. Well, not weird. It was just a completely polar opposite. Mardi Gras world, and
Yep.
it's like culture, and then you're like in tech, man. EA Sports headquarters. It's pretty cool. I got scanned in the game.
Did you play TD in Madden?
I
You
did.
beat his ass?
I didn't. It
Dan
was-
Mitchell, you beat his ass?
No, we played F1. They had F1 simulators, which was crazy. We played some Madden. They had a lot of fun stuff going on, some good food, and it was a good time. Where were you at? You didn't make it?
You know what? I had plans last night. I was got out of here too late, and I was just like, I don't feel like sitting on a bus for an hour. Because I put it in the GPS. It was going to be like an hour and 10 minutes. And I'm like, I'm just sitting down all day. I don't feel like being on a bus.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting. There was a field out there. We were running some 40-yard dashes. We were having some fun, man. We were doing our thing.
So you see James Harrison over there? Should I go up to him and say, I still have nightmares of the 2010 AFC Championship game?
Yeah, it's funny. That was the table that we were trying to get.
You know what? I just realized I have the camera here. It can't spin around.
Yeah, you're like spinning around.
Yeah, I'm spinning around a camera that is.
Yeah, we were like using that open table yesterday, and little did we know it was the nightcap.
It's Debo and Joe and the nightcaps. You got James Harrison and Joe Hayden in front of us, and then starting tomorrow or starting later today, Shannon and Chad Ochocinco are going to be sitting right there.
We got an
So-
epic lineup today at Radio Row. I just saw the list of who's on the Kay Adams show. We got Kevin Durant, Justin Jefferson.
Kevin Durant's
Jamar
going to be
Chase.
here.
Yeah, for the Kay Adams show.
Well,
Kevin Durant.
well,
Easy
usually-
money sniper.
He was on it yesterday. I think they recorded. I don't think he's actually going to be in person. He's
Oh.
with the Rockets right now.
Oh, I thought someone said he's coming. Maybe that person was wrong.
Yeah, I don't think he's actually. I could be wrong, but I saw they posted like clips like previewing the interview, and he was on Zoom. Sorry to burst your bubble if you wanted to see KD and say you should have came to the Knicks. Huge mistake by you.
Yeah, I wanted to see that. My boy Jay Tuck told me that KD's coming through with all the other guys. So I'm curious to see if that's the case. He's with Des Bryant's company. Jay Tuck, our Cowboys creator.
Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Jet fans, how we feeling about Frank Reich being hired? How you feeling about your Super Bowl week so far? I saw you got a great moment with Sam Darnold. You got to ask him a question about Jet fans rooting for him and say, what have you learned from the Jet experience? That must have been awesome.
It was, man. And Jake, we were talking about it before we went to there, and I'm like, I want to interview my boy Sam Darnold, and I want to just let him know, like, hey, I just want to make sure you're aware we are still rooting for you as Jets fans, and we want you to know that. And I asked him what he learned from his experience. He had, of course, took the high road, said that he learned a lot from his experience, and he's really happy, built a lot of relationships. And he's just a class act, man. He's got nothing but love from him. And I also talked to Leonard Williams. I had to go for the former Jets, Jake. So
You always do. This was Richie's question to Sam Darnold that I see here has gone quite viral. Great job by Richie with this.
Hey, Sam, I don't know if you know this, but a lot of New York Jets fans are still rooting for your success still to this day. What did you learn from that experience getting drafted to a big market like New York and, of course, then going to Carolina and the rest of the journey? But what did you learn in particular about the New York Jets that made you the quarterback you are today?
I learned a ton. I learned a ton from my time there. Had spent time with a lot of great people there, a lot of great people in that organization, a lot of great, players that I was able to play with, still that I talk to this day. So I had a lot of great times there. Obviously learned from a lot of experiences in New York, but just the relationships that I built with people there, I'll never forget.
How about that? Sammy D.
I wanted to show him the picture I took when I got his autograph when he got drafted by the Jets. Obviously, I'm not there as a fan. I'm there as the member of the media. But, man, Sam Darnold, it's just one of those feelings, Jake. You look at him and you're just like, what could have been, man? You're supposed to be representing the Jets in this Super Bowl, man. Oh,
It's tough. But answers like that is why every Jet fan is rooting for him.
exactly. And that's what I want to told him. I also asked Leonard Williams a question, and I kind of asked him a question without bringing up the Jets, because I knew he would, I asked him, like, who did you learn from the most when you got into the NFL? Any veteran presence that kind of put you underneath their wing? And he mentioned Demario Davis, and he said that he was absolutely massive for his development. And then he also talked about how the New York media was able to shape him into the into the defensive lineman he is today, and how the New York market is super high pressure. Now he's in Seattle. So it's cool to see, the two former Jets in Leonard Williams and Sam Darnold still got love in their heart for the New York Jets.
Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. Richie from Jets Media happened to be walking by the Radio Row table. We got the full roundtable sports crew here. Dan Mitchell. And I keep doing this thing with the camera and I forget that we're on the tripod one. Hold on. Let me do the classic. You add the extra camera here that StreamYard lets you do, and then it messes with the volume here. It'll give people a little feel for the madness that is Radio Row inside our convention center right now, because it is crazy here at the Moscone Center. So this is Dan Mitchell. You're not paying any rent to lease a spot on my table. All right. We got Kobe, whose Patriots are in the Super Bowl. TD Finstock, who thinks the Dolphins are going to be the Patriots a year from now, which is laughable. So we got the full roundtable experience here. What's it been like hanging out with your guys out here?
It's crazy, man. The cool thing is, hate the Patriots, of course, but it's cool that an AFC East representative is here for Colby's sake of things. And, us being here in year number 2, hopefully it's going to continue. And we got our boy Justin helping you out, which is a lot of fun. And, it's a whirlwind experience, bro. Radio Row is absolutely unbelievable. We went to the team hotels yesterday, like I talked to you about. Talked to a lot of Patriots players and Seahawks players over there. It's just a heck of a time. Very different than last year. And I think that's the cool thing about the Super Bowl week is no matter who's hosting it, it's always going to be different based off of the city. Last year was New Orleans. It was all about culture and their whole thing. And now San Francisco and Santa Clara has been on full display. But it's been awesome to be here with my boys here at Roundtable Sports and, of course, being with my boy Jake.
Love it. Love it. Super chat from Gotham Green. Greg Roman for run game. They were bringing Kyler Murray, unfortunately, and bringing an aging big body wide receiver. Hopkins asked. So a negative perspective, but I do appreciate the super chat here, Gotham. I don't see Kyler Murray as a fit. Now, if they could get Greg Roman as the run game coordinator, I think that would be fantastic, as former Jet Joe Flacco is here. Justin, you're supposed to be ready to grab the mic and run. We had a Super Bowl MVP, Joe Flacco, right there.
Joe Flacco, who just, I think he was in the Pro Bowl games yesterday, wasn't he?
Pro Bowl quarterback, Joe Flacco.
Pro Bowl
That's
quarterback.
Right. Greg Roman as the run game coordinator.
I would love that.
Do you see it as a legit possibility, though?
That was my dream. When we saw the 3 finalists, I threw out the idea, and I even said on your show on Monday, like, if Frank Reich's the OC, bringing Greg Roman as run game coordinator, bring Bevel as a pass game coordinator, probably unrealistic. But Greg Roman at this point, Jake, if he wants to still coach, that's the role that he needs to take on. It's not going to be an OC. So if he wants to climb back into an offensive coordinator role eventually, I think he should take a job with the Jets, improve, especially with the Jets trying to be a run-first offense.
I love this fan base. Big fella in the house. Frank will be the head coach by week 5.
I know, man. That's exactly what I've been seeing everywhere.
Oh, the pain. Well, I appreciate you hopping on, man.
Yeah,
you
man.
were our first guest on the day. We're going to be joined by Super Bowl winning head coach Brian Billick in a couple minutes, get his thoughts on the Reich hire, what Aaron Glenn can learn from year 1, and certainly talk some ball with him. So appreciate you batting leadoff today.
I was about to say, when I played baseball in Little League, I was a leadoff hitter. So it feels good to be back into my roots, man. Appreciate you allowing me to lead off twice, Jake.
Go subscribe to Roundtable Sports. Of course, Richie's channel, Jets Media as well. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back.
Shout out to the Asmaniacs. Hit that thumbs up button for my boy Jake. Love
Our
you guys.
first of many guests will be joining us here. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back right after this.
Rodgers.
Yeah.
I want to apologize for yesterday. I was trying to show off the name on my jersey, but my desk chair doesn't swivel, so I got up and I showed off my butt.
When was the last time you took a shower?
I don't know. Thursday evening.
You haven't showered since Thursday?
Yeah,
you probably reek. Oh. He stinks.
Yeah.
Oh, you gotta be disgusting.
Constantly play down to competition. How the hell did he lose to Zach Wilson when Zach Wilson was fucking trash? Let me finish, okay? Are you?
How was the dinner the other night? Did you see Charles there? He had to leave early because his mom wanted him home. Do you have any other words also you want to ask me?
What was your question to me?
Do you remember Sam and Darnold? He was good, but then I think he retired because he got old.
He's on the Vikings.
I wish I can get Charles's recipe for soup.
Me too.
Yeah, but anyway, Mourners, Knoble is alive. He's just not starting yet.
Where is
I don't know what happened. I don't know.
Lane, thanks for the time.
Right now, what I need to have happen, Charles, I need you to put on the Gorman tank. It's Friday. The vibes are high. Put on the Charles Gorman-inspired Jake Asman Show tank top for the people.
I will maybe next week.
What? Put it on. Put it on. Oh, my God, he's doing it.
Football is back, bitches.
Give us one more spin around, all right?
Give us the full modeling.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for the ass. Yeah, we appreciate it.
Charles, would you like to respond to Gator? He says you look like you combed your hair with a pack of firecrackers. How come you didn't congratulate him?
I did on the baby. Yeah, he had a.
You didn't say this though.
Hey, congrats on the sex.
Congrats on the sex. Oh my God.
Yeah, how do you think babies are made?
No, it's funny. True story. When I was a kid, I actually thought I came from a stork. I shit you not, man. Like, you know, when you have all these dreams and shit, it's like, you know, here you go, here's your baby. That's what happened to me when I was a kid.
So to be clear, you were not acquired via stork, right?
Yes, I was biologically made by my mother and father.
Dennis Gorman?
And my mother, Roseanne.
Shout out to them. They did a great job with you, Charles.
Was it sweet and passionate, or are you unaware of those details?
Why do I need to know those details?
I don't know. Maybe it would have. I mean, you wanted to know whether it was stork or baby making, so I don't know. Just figured you'd want intricate levels of detail.
My parents made love twice. They gave birth to my brother, and they gave birth to me.
Okay. Thank you very much for clearing that up.
I'll just put myself in these goddamn situations.
Yeah. I can't believe this. But one of your arch nemesis has just called in to challenge you. Buckle up.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Asmaniac Rumble.
What do we have here? Look at this guy.
Before we talk about Gabagoo, let me get some words in. Look, the Jets, Aaron Rodgers, quarterback. Josh Allen, quarterback. Patrick Mahomes, quarterback. We bring back Tom Brady. You try to tell me that those four quarterbacks aren't going to make a difference?
Timeout.
Look,
Tom Brady is happily retired.
He's forgot something. You don't know what you're talking about. Hey, you don't know what you're talking about.
Hey, relax. Hey. Before you blow up with blood pressure. I'm not going to tell you again.
Hey.
Relax.
Oh.
I'm not going to tell you again.
You're making me upset. I'm getting upset.
Yeah, getting upset what?
Yeah,
what are you getting upset at?
Yo.
Get out of here then. Go. Go. Go.
Hey, here's the deal. Just got no chance unless you click on that like button. And you got to make sure you subscribe to the Jake Asman Show. You don't? You can get the f*** out. Now let's go, Asmaniacs. We're built for this shit.
We are back live at Radio Row, and joining us today is a Super Bowl winning head coach, one of the best to ever do it. The great Brian Billick is with us now. Coach, always appreciate your time. Welcome back to the show.
Great being here. Always exciting to be at Radio Row during the Super Bowl week.
Now, you've obviously experienced firsthand what the Super Bowl is like. I mean, take us through what each of these coaches are thinking a couple days out from this game on Sunday.
Well, you're kind of in the back stretch, so to speak. You spent the whole off the bye week getting the game plan ready, getting the players. We approached it like we had to play the game the Sunday before. Get everything out of the way that way. That way, when you get down here, the initial days of the distractions and the media and all going around. Today is when it needs to begin to feel like it's normal. You get back on the practice field. You want it to feel like another Wednesday, installation, running the practice itself, and work towards what will be the longest Sunday in your life, because it just seems like you wait around all day. And you got to prepare the players for it, that it's going to be a little bit different. You go out and warm up. You come back in the locker room for 30 minutes. What's that like? We actually re-stretched and started the whole process over. So you just want to try to make it feel as familiar as it can, so that at kickoff, and it's amazing how quickly all the lights go off and the cameras, how quickly it just becomes the game, that muscle memory kicks in, and it's just another game. Very important game, huge outcome, but at the end of the day, it's just the game.
Were you nervous going in? What were the emotions like?
I was probably as it turned out well, but mistakenly, I was extremely confident going in. This team had come through so much, that 2000 Raven team, and I knew that what the Giants didn't know, they weren't going to be able to run the ball. And I'd seen it time and again all year long, that they get into the game and they find they just couldn't run the ball. It shocks their system. And I've seen how game plans fall apart. And so I was extremely confident all week. I wasn't particularly nervous. I was anxious, ready for it to happen. But very, just because of the nature of who I am, I really wasn't that worried about it.
Brian Billick, of course, is our guest. We're based in New York, so we're talking always about the Jets. We're talking about the Giants as well. From your perspective, I know you know John Harbaugh very well. What were your thoughts on the Giants bringing him in as a new head coach?
Great hire. John's an outstanding coach. He will bring a mentality, a discipline, a culture to the Giants that seems to have weaned over the last few years. John will reestablish that very quickly. And I thought it was a great hire by the Giants.
From a Jet standpoint now, Aaron Glenn, it was a very disappointing year one, 3-14. Both coordinators, coach, were let go. Steve Wilkes, before the year even ended, Tanner Engstrand, an up-and-coming guy. It turns out they wanted to demote him and bring someone else in. It doesn't end up working out. They announced they hired Frank Reich as the OC this morning. Can you take us inside what year one as a head coach was like for you, the challenges with something like that, and kind of what you saw from the Jets in year one with Aaron Glenn?
Well, it's just like we talked about that Coach Harbaugh will do coming into the Giants. It's from day one, it is trying to establish that culture, that mindset of this is how we're going to do business. And it's a fight every day. And the hard part is you got to have enough success early to validate it for the players to buy in, to go, okay, yeah, we see what you want. We believe this is the way to go. And that's the struggle you have, particularly when you go on a 3-13 year, or 3-14.
And they started 0-7, so all the messaging about, hey, we're going to do it this way. I mean, how difficult is that, right?
The hard part is, rather than building on it, you're just fighting it every single day. And that's the challenge that they're going to have going forward now, is in the second year, now you've had that entire offseason, where before it was just getting used to the environment and the people and bringing it in. Now you hope some of the repetition, keeping the way that you do business consistent, and that you can start off strong in training camp, reestablish again, this is what we have to do to be successful. But then obviously once you get on the field, it's got to show up, because those players right now will, they'll be a mindful eye of, okay, yeah, we want to be good and we think this is the right way, but it's got to be reinforced with some success.
It feels like they need to get off to a good start after you have a horrific year one like what they had.
Yeah, you do. Just for the players to get that total buy-in, that absolute buy-in. Otherwise, it's just an uphill battle.
Now, for you, from a head coach's perspective, it feels like some guys maybe are just made out to be coordinators. How can you tell if someone is, better suited to be a offensive or a defensive special teams coordinator versus, hey, it's a totally different job when you're actually the head guy as the head coach?
Well, you don't know until you're in that position. I mean, you work your entire life aspiring to be a head coach, and you do those things to prepare yourself, usually with a focus on one side of the ball or the other. And then you get that job, and you find out that I remember very specifically, when I got the job in Baltimore, and you sit down in that office for the first time and you go, holy mackerel, what do I do now? And you just take the next step. You do what you have to do in terms of bringing the staff together and trying to implement that mindset. But it's an uphill every day. It's something you got to do, and you learn constantly on the go of what it is, because I don't know that anybody fully appreciates it until they sit in that seat, how broad the job is. Every aspect of it you have to give attention to 24/7. And if not, you better have somebody on your right hand that's taking care of that aspect of it if you're preoccupied with something else.
How difficult is it to hire a good staff when you first become a head coach?
It is. You prepare and have guys in mind, but not all of them are available. So you have to adjust and bring certain guys in. It's important that you get that right. It's tough when you have to, in that first year, change the coordinators, because at some point then the players go, okay, we made those changes. We just come through that. We fired the complete other staff. Now you're here. Now we fired these guys. okay, who's next? That's the tough mentality you got to fight through.
Brian Billick, of course, is with us here, Super Bowl champion as the head coach of the Ravens. I'm seeing it in my live chat. A bunch of people want to know, after 2007, Coach, you were still a young guy. How come you never got back into coaching?
It's just one of those things that first the right opportunity has to come along. And I had a good first marriage, so to speak, with the Ravens and Ozzie Newsome and the way we did things. And I vowed that I wasn't going to just go back. It had to be a good fit because it really is a marriage. It has to be, it has to be a solid group with the same vision. Doesn't mean you agree on everything, but it has to be a solid relationship that you're working towards the same thing. And that opportunity never really presented itself. And then after a while, you're out long enough that they quit asking.
It's out of sight, out of mind almost.
Yeah.
And you became a big star on television for all those years.
I don't know about that. It was fun. I enjoyed doing that, staying close to both with Fox and the NFL Network and being around the young people, being close to the game. And it's amazing, particularly the experience of doing games for Fox. You think about that. Every Friday, I'm sitting in a different facility, former competitors, and visiting with them, watching how they do. I mean, it was if I had gone back to coaching, I would have been a better head coach for having had that experience of basically sitting in every facility in the league, watching how other people did it. It was enjoyable, but now it's I'm enjoying it. Chase my grandsons around, playing a lot of golf, and watch a little football.
So the last time the Jets had success, their head coach was a guy you know very well, in Rex Ryan. What was Rex like being a part of some of your coaching staffs when you guys, of course, were in Baltimore together?
Rex was a great coach. I tell you that the minute I knew I was going to hire Rex Ryan, I went up to Canada. They had a coaching seminar, and I signed on to go on. I was going to, and they had they expected like 1,200 guys. Well, I come down early. Speaker in front of me is Rex Ryan. I wanted to hear Rex. I knew his dad, Buddy, and there's like 4 people there. I mean, this clinic was useless. Rex was up there with these 4 and 5 guys coaching his butt off. Like there were 1,200 people there. And he was into it. I thought, that's a football coach. That's the guy, if I ever have an opportunity, this is the guy I want to work with. So that was my first real exposure to Rex. And then when I got the Ravens job, brought him in as our defensive line coach.
That's outstanding. Now, in front of us, we got the nightcap guys that are going to be setting up a bit later doing their show. Give us a Shannon Sharp story that you could share with the audience.
Oh, my God. Well, I worked with Sterling all those years.
Yep.
Which was great fun when we did the show Playbook for NFL Network. Shannon was a joy to have. Between Shannon and I now, you could literally suck the air out of the room between the two of us. So we could both talk now. So, but Shannon was such a great component of that championship team, was really that touchstone for everybody because no one else had won the Super Bowl, either in the room, coaching staff or the building, the players. And so Shannon was that touchstone of, yeah, we're doing the right thing. We can do this, to believe in ourselves. And obviously a great personality. It was, he was the point in his career where he didn't practice on Friday, which was cool. It's just, I'll give you Wednesday and Thursday. I'll be ready. I got to lay low Friday and Saturday. And I said, that's cool with me, man.
Love that. Before we let you run, two questions for you at the end. You're here with X-Tech. I've seen you with X-Tech for years. What makes X-Tech so unique with their shoulder pads?
Well, we've been at it for 14 years. I'm so proud of where we've come. This is the shoulder pads of the future. I mean, everything about AI and the technology now, everything is driven. Well, that's what these pads are. The X-Tech bot is AI driven. In the old days, big pads on big guys and little pads on little guys. Now the pads are basically form fitted for your height, your weight, your playing position, your injury history, the level you're playing at, the protection that you need. It's the number 1 pad in pro and major college football. I'm thrilled that we're getting into the youth pad. I have 2 grandsons, 14 and 10. They actually wore the prototypes. This is the equipment our young people need to be in. Take advantage of the technical advancements we've made, because this is a great sport, but it's a very physical, it's a very dangerous sport. They need to be in the best equipment. X-Tech Pads is that equipment.
XTechPads.com. Final question, Coach. Who do you like on Sunday?
Well, I got to keep track here. I was at Radio Row. I pick one team for 50% of the goes and the other team. So that means Monday morning,
you can't lose.
Half the country thinks I know what I'm talking about. It's going to be a great game. It's going to be a tight game. I think Seattle in its entirety is going to be just a little too strong in a very low scoring game. I think Seattle.
Super Bowl winning head coach Brian Billick has been our guest. Brian, always great to catch up. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Quick break. We're back with more live from Radio Row here, of course, in San Fran. Hey, Dave Briggs called you a fraud.
Fuck you, Dave Brigger.
Whoa!
You know, he needs to check up on his language, number one. Get a job.
Fuck you, Dave Brigger.
I've been a Jets fan all my life, and I put up, a few good times and a lot of bad times. So I really don't appreciate guys that just pick up and leave and become Colts fans, who, by the way, were our opponents in Super Bowl III that we beat.
Fuck you, Dave Brigger.
So don't speak to me in that manner. That doesn't bother me as much as you being jobless and being a Colts fan.
Fuck you, Dave Brigger.
Why did you block the big fella?
That's between him and me.
What don't you like about me?
I'd rather not discuss this in the public.
I bust balls and stuff like that, but I've always tried to help you, no matter what.
I appreciate that. It's not because I don't like you.
Gator says that you're a douche-faced, chicken soup eating, jobless trader with a bad haircut. Now, this would be an example of Gator trolling you because he's just messing with you. Don't take this seriously.
I gotta do some soul searching. One of the people said I need to do some soul searching. People want me to pack my bags and leave. Well, I'm sorry. This is America, and I'm staying right here. I pledge allegiance to the flag. You damn right.
A few calls later, Charles was openly questioned how he was able to afford submitting so many gifted membership.
Are you catfishing people and scamming others after you yourself were scammed?
I am not scamming anybody.
Charles has been doing some male exotic dancing on the side for some
They're just making up crap. Are you serious right now?
Leon says Charles has started a catfish company and the first IPO came in.
I'm getting money from the government. Why does that matter? I'm not doing OnlyFans. If I was doing OnlyFans.
Some wondering if he was partaking in possibly making deposits at the local sperm bank.
Are you working at a sperm bank?
I'm not doing anything sperm related.
I was just reading the comments here from Gator.
This team is a disgrace.
Charles' personal and love life were also thrust into the spotlight when he openly asked longtime show viewer Rebecca if she would, quote, deflower him.
Oh, and I heard Rebecca said she wanted to marry a guy like me. Well, Rebecca, I would love for you to deflower me.
Whoa. Keep it in your pants, Gorman. This is a family show.
I was told to say it, so...
I don't care who told you to say it. Sick.
I'm an idiot.
Oh, someone told me to say it, so I have to say it. Oh, I'm Charles Gorman.
I didn't really watch the game because I was with a friend. I was at the Woodbridge Center Mall.
This is a brutal call. You didn't watch the game?
I checked the box score.
You didn't watch the game?
I was with a friend, Jake.
So you chose a comic book convention over your football team? What type of fan are you?
Apparently not a good one. I wanted to spend time with a friend, Jake. Is that something wrong?
Yes. Now, was this friend of yours a woman? Was she going to make sweet and passionate love to you?
His name was Preston, and he's been my best friend for a while.
So you hung out with a dude all day instead of watching your team? What are we doing?
Shame.
Beast, I could care less what you think.
Shame.
So
what a lousy loser he turned out to be. Gorman, you've lost every bit of my respect. You clown-sucking douchebag.
Sir Lucas says, does Preston dress up like a comic book chick? Good question.
He did not dress up like a chick. He's not a cross-dresser. Nor
calm down. Is Preston your friend or gay lover?
Not gay lover.
So you went to a comic book convention with Preston, who's your friend and not gay lover?
Yes.
Because you know the Jets play Sunday at 1 o'clock.
I know that, and I wanted to spend time with a friend.
Clown-sucking douchebag.
You want to fight, asshole?
I don't want to fight, period. If I went to Sbarro's.
You chose Sbarro's? You couldn't have picked anything else at a mall?
Wanted some meatballs.
From Sbarro's?
Yes.
You chose Sbarro's voluntary? Come on. And for the meatballs, you went to a comic book convention with your gay lover and ate Sbarro's?
He's not my gay lover.
You didn't watch the Jets today, so what exactly is the purpose of calling in?
I checked the box score.
No, the box score could lie. There's no context. There's no feel for the box score. According to New Q here, you hung out with a dude and ate balls over watching your football team. Chris wants to know, does Preston lay on that mat?
No, he does not. Stop it. And I got this too. Cost me about $40.
You spent $40 on that?
Yeah, $5 discount.
A $5 discount?
I wanted it. Rebecca, if you want to talk to me via email.
Email?
She said she would marry a guy like me. That's what I was told.
You're just going to sell your soul for the first woman that shows interest in you, Charles?
No.
Rebecca says that she would, but you would have to give up Preston.
Rebecca, we're not gay lovers. Stop it. Rebecca, I would love for you to deflower me. And you got to go like that. You got to move your body. You got to move your body. You got to move your body when you're punching. I will not lie. It's been a while since I took martial arts lessons.
Charles is back in the Asmaniac community, and let's hope he can keep the momentum rolling.
Now you can hear me. All right. A little technical snafu as we figure everything out. Let me get caught up on some super chats. We're going to be joined by another successful NFL head coach. We're going to be joined by Mike Smith, former head coach of the Falcons, coming up in about 10 minutes or so. So we'll continue to get inside the mind of successful coaches, and maybe Aaron Glenn will be listening and learn from what these guys are saying. Super chat from Tyrone Garcia. He joins our raffle this morning for 4. Everything is double. He says he likes the Frank Reich hire, and go Knicks, and we have something to cheer for. Frank will be the head coach by week 7. Go Knicks and go Islanders. A great sports night for the teams that wear orange and blue last night. Hell yeah. Look, Frank Reich, again, it's not the sexy hire. He's a name. I think it raises the jet floor a little bit, and we'll take it. It's kind of how you got to look at it. Sam writes in, what can the Jets as an organization learn from the Seahawks and Patriots? You got to hire great coaches, and if you hire a defensive coach, you got to have a sick offensive coordinator. Right? Clint Kubiak just got a head coaching job. He's really good. Josh McDaniels has been a head coach twice. He's really good as an offensive coordinator. That's the bottom line. So I think that's how you got to look at it. I mean, again, I think in terms of where the Jets are going and what they needed, I think you could make a strong case that hiring a guy in the case of Frank Reich was the best they could do. Now, would I have retained Engstrand? Yeah, I would have. I've been saying it. But I think given the alternatives, that was the best they could do. And I still maintain that. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. We're going to be joined by Mike Smith momentarily here. Successful head coach, of course, with the Falcons for all those years. Mike is nice enough to join us right now. We're going to do the old camera switch. We're going to get Mike on the headset here. There you go, Mike. Put this on for you. He's got that Super Bowl ring on from the Ravens here. Love it. Coach, appreciate you hopping on.
Yeah, absolutely. Glad to be here.
We just had Coach Billick on. We were reflecting on the 2000 Ravens and, of course, the Super Bowl and all that goes into it. What do you remember the most about your time in Baltimore?
We had a good football team, a really good football team, and a great coaching staff and great ownership. It was at the top of the line in terms of what they did. Mr. Modell, Art Modell, and the ownership group did a great job making it easy for us to go play football games. And the most important thing is we had great players.
You know, and you mentioned ownership. We're based in New York, so we've spent a lot of time talking about the ownership issues that the Jets and the Giants have had, specifically the last 15 years or so. What makes a good owner? You've experienced what it's like. What can an owner do in the National Football League that you would look at and define them as a really good owner?
Well, I think it's a situation in which everybody in the leadership has to be themselves. They have to be authentic, and if they're not authentic, then you don't have a chance to communicate the right ways. And they also have to be prepared to delegate and how the organization is going to be run. When you're the owner, you have the option to do whatever you choose. So, but it needs to be clear how the structure is of the football organization, and it's just not the coaching staff; it's the interaction with these people that work on the scouting side, and you have to make sure that everybody understands what their role is.
What was your experience when, like, let's say free agency comes around, you really want a player, but there's the salary cap component to it. You got to work with the general manager on making that work. Like, what is that? What is that relationship like? Like, how often would you be able to get your way if you really wanted a certain player? How would all that kind of work?
Well, we had in Atlanta. I can only speak from my time in Atlanta. Thomas Dimitroff and I, we both had an agreement when we both were hired together. We were going to always talk out decisions, and that if we couldn't make it unanimous and come to an agreement, then we would pass on that player. And I thought that was a great process. Now, let me tell you, there were some hard conversations in the room, and Thomas was pretty good at giving your opinion. And it was a way that we would work through this process, and you do that, behind closed doors. You're not always going to agree. The decision makers aren't, and there needs to be a process. And I thought that was great for us to agree to not disagree. And when we agreed on it, if we disagreed on that decision, then we would not do it. But you know what happened? Every decision after talking through it, we always came to an agreement. Like, yes, this is the right way to go for our organization. Now, we had some long discussions about it, but I think it's healthy to have those discussions, and you need to do that. And if you don't have the communication between the general manager, the president, and the head football coach, and the scouts are involved in it, we need to come to a consensus, and you have to have a process that you go through that makes it easy to come to a consensus.
When you became a head coach, Mike, what were the biggest challenges in that first year? We're based in New York, where Aaron Glenn's coming off a 3-14 season. It felt like the walls at times are closing in. He has 2 new coordinators that have officially been hired now, with Frank Reich being hired earlier today as the OC. What are the challenges in year one? What did you learn from your first year as a head coach in Atlanta, and how did that help you going forward?
Well, I was very fortunate to have a real strong staff, both the offensive and defensive coordinator, and the staff that I was able to put together, and be able to interact with the staff that Thomas put together. So we were all singing out of the same hymnal, and I think that's very important. And you can't worry about what's happening on the outside. It's all about what's happening in the building. If you try to work and feel what's happening on the outside, you're doomed for failure. And I think that's the thing that we did. We hit the ground running. It was a unique situation with Bob Petrino leaving after 5 games to go back to college football, the Michael Vick situation, and we just
you guys dealt with a lot early on.
Yes, we did. It was, and but it was it was being a communicator, and I think all leaders need to be authentic. If you're not authentic and you don't have authenticity and you're not consistent, the people that you work with and the people that you work around are not going to be able to thrive in those types of situations. And I think there's a lot more failed administrations than there are teams.
You were a part of a front office and coaching staff that drafted and oversaw the development of a franchise quarterback in Matt Ryan. The Jet fans that are watching this, I mean, we have gone through, hell and back discussing options at quarterback and how to find the right guy. We're watching Sam Darnold, of course, start in the Super Bowl on Sunday, Coach. What did you guys see in Matt Ryan? What did you guys love about him coming out? How did you guys know that was the guy you wanted to use a first-round pick on?
Well, we did a lot of research on Matt, like you always do, especially when you're picking in the top 5, like we were, and we knew it was going to be an important decision. But it became very clear early on. I can remember it was at the combine. It was myself, Matt, and Thomas, and we were sitting at St. Elmo's having a steak. And when I left out of there and having that conversation, I knew that was the guy. If he was there and available, that was the guy that we needed to take. And we'd already done all our work on film and such. So when we got there and had that discussion in that dinner, it was very evident that if he was there, he was going to be our guy.
So I do a weekly Sunday show with former Jets GM, Dolphins GM. He's now on ESPN, Mike Tannenbaum. And we've talked about these quarterbacks coming out. He's been high on Fernando Mendoza of Indiana all year. His comp for him has been Matt Ryan. So I'll ask you, who knows Matt Ryan as well as anyone we could bring on the show, do you see any similarities between Fernando Mendoza and Matt Ryan?
That's a great comp. Absolutely a great comp.
I'll have to let Mike know.
Yeah, you let Mike.
From one Mike to another.
From one Mike to another. And Mike Tannenbaum, he knows football. And, you're looking not only for the skill set, but you're looking for the mental makeup. And Matt Ryan, the mental makeup and the way that he dealt with it, the people at Boston College, you knew that he would step right in and be able to do that in our locker room in Atlanta. And, Matt had a great career, could be a Hall of Famer. I think he will be a Hall of Famer. But he's, on a new adventure, and it's a great adventure. And he's going to be highly, highly successful as the president of football ops.
I really think most NFL owners should have someone like that they trust, that can almost serve as like the buffer between the front office and the coaching staff and ownership. And, someone like Matt Ryan that could set Arthur Blank in this case up, shoot him straight on what's actually happening. We've been clamoring for that in New York for a very long time. What type of role do you anticipate Matt having, and how valuable could that be for Atlanta?
It's going to be very valuable, and he's going to bring lots of value because he loves Atlanta. He has a great relationship with with Arthur Blank, and he understands the city, and he understands what it takes to be successful. And we were very, very successful when Matt was leading our team as a quarterback. And I think you're going to see it carry over into his new role as the top of the org chart there in Atlanta. He's going to do a great job. Matt is highly intelligent, one of the most competitive guys, but he also is one of the most communicative guys I've ever been around.
Seems like Atlanta's got a really good coach now, and Stefanski as well. A lot of skilled players.
Yes,
got to figure out what the plan is at quarterback.
I think they do. I think they have a great setup in what they're trying to get done, and they're really close. And you know how it is in the NFL. You're getting guys that are getting let go because they're this close to being where they need to be.
Right.
You know, and when that happens, those are the teams that you want to try to get if you're aspiring to be a head coach, because they're very close. This is a team that's been floating right around the 500 mark, and the 500 mark in the NFL is 3 or 4 plays from the playoffs.
So true.
And that's what makes the game so great. That's what makes the NFL so popular, is we get out there, we compete, and it's so close, and every game counts. Every play counts.
What makes X-Tech so great, Coach?
Well, X-Tech, I've been involved with X-Tech now going on 10 years. And what makes X-Tech so good is the technology that is involved in a shoulder pad. Now you say the technology, well, the design of the pads, the protection that it gives for the players. It's number one pad in the National Football League. And we want to be the number one pad in college football, high school football. That's really the thing.
You guys are getting into youth as well, we were told.
Yes, we are. We have a new youth pad coming out, you know, and we've got a new way to fit the players. It's with a chat bot, and it's really cool. You sit in front of your computer. It takes the measurements. The parents, moms or dads, can do that. Take the measurements and have pads delivered. And the thing that we need to do is we need to continue to make the game safer. And they've done a great job with helmets. Now we need to do it with the shoulder pads and take the same testing, make sure that we all know. And we talked about Mendoza. He wore the pads this year. This is a pad that all the top players in the league are starting to wear it, and all the way at the college level. The coaches know, the people that work in the equipment directors, they know the importance of having that type of equipment to keep the players safe. And X-Tech's it.
Last question for you, Coach. Who do you like in the game Sunday?
I got to go with Seattle.
I don't think we've had one person on the show so far this week pick New England yet, which makes me nervous. As a Jet fan, we're all rooting for Seattle, but you know.
Yes, I know that I know that they're probably the heavy favorite. I just think that it's their year. They've done a great job. Coach McDonald's done a great job, and I really like their defense. They create all kinds of havoc for the quarterback, and Drake May's had a great season, but I think he's going to see some stuff that he hasn't seen before. And they do a great job of teaching their guys the techniques, and then they mix them together. So he's done a great job calling defenses.
Mike Smith here on behalf of X-Tech. Appreciate you hopping on.
I appreciate it.
We'll take a quick break and continue. We're live from Radio Row here in San Fran.
My New York Jets, Woody owes me a hug. I hate this team. Will we ever win again? I hate this team. Can we find a decent quarterback? I hate this team. These are the same old Jets, the worst team in professional sports. I hate this team.
Today's not your birthday?
I'm practicing for it.
Your birthday is Monday, though, Lane.
Yeah, but because of the Jews holiday, I can't have anybody over until after the following week.
Okay, so you're going to have cake today in preparation for your actual birthday.
Yeah.
Lane wants to say hi to you. It's his birthday in 2 days. He's practicing for it.
I'm trying to take care of a very big problem here that I don't deeply appreciate.
I mean, I like Mason.
Anthony Mason?
Yeah, Anthony Mason.
You're getting your ass kicked every fucking week. Damn it! I don't get it, but I'm not the head coach. Like a little goat. That's not football! That's not a man! That's a bitch! I'm done.
Remember when you had dead maggots living in your toe?
No, they were alive. They weren't dead. They were alive.
Great. Even better.
One got in there, and then it was nasty. It was bad.
Disgusting.
In fact, I played golf with Rich Kotite at the Jet Golf Classic. And the parking lot, I told him I had some advice for him, and he dismissed me like I was a caddy. And then they went 1-15.
Same shit! Come on now! What the fuck?
You're like Dr. Melfi for like the most damaged people in the world.
You did take a couple of my calls. I tried to call in a couple of times, but
I didn't dismiss you. I probably was on the air and the show was ending. I didn't have time to squeeze
I
you
thought
in.
you were mad at me, honestly. I was drinking some shit I didn't even mean.
So this is my football right here, going in the toilet.
What? No. False. False security, man.
Scatterboo time. Giants
it's not scatterboo time. You just put the ball in the toilet.
Is it going down? Oh. Smell that toilet water?
Oh.
There's some bogus charge on my card, and I don't like the sign of that. Give me someone American I can speak to.
Unless you get the account verified, I won't be able to.
Give me someone American I can talk to.
Why are you so upset?
Hello? I don't even know a password. I'm trying something here.
Gator says, was Beast the best choice as your tech support engineer? I still believe in him, Gator, absolutely.
I tried Raunchy 14, didn't want to work.
Hogwarts 350 LBs.
Hey, watch it, got it. Oh, bullshit, man. This is so fucking stupid. Dippy, go. You want to get cracked, Spencer? I got the baseball bat waiting for you, you son of a bitch. I got to paint him with a hemorrhoid.
Calm down. Take it easy. Are you crying, bro? In this alliance, we support each other. You're the leader, goddammit.
Yeah, I know. I'm like an emperor almost in a weird way. That's not shit. That was washed immediately.
That looks like a shit in the underwear, Beast. Big Cho, after months of constant questions, inquiries, and emails, finally got the opportunity to both see his first Jets game at home and meet up with Asmaniacs for an epic tailgate.
It was an adventure trying to get to the game because my Uber driver didn't speak English.
Did he speak Cho?
So he didn't speak Cho, didn't know where to go. Couldn't get with the flow.
He may not have believed it prior, but he was clearly the star of the show when Asmaniacs lined up to meet him, get autographs, and of course take photos with this legend.
And looked after me and treated me like a celebrity. I got to meet Dre Day. I signed a jersey from him. Papa Jet, Team Curry, Lumpy. I sat next to Kyle. I mean, all those people are fantastic. They're like family to me, and I only met them for a weekend. I had some very fine-looking ladies. I'm going to tell you, the girls in New York, they look really good. I felt like I was a player.
I did not know you actually had the scars and shit in the back of your neck. I thought you were just like on Valium and just fucking were just lazy as shit. And then when I saw you at the tailgate sitting in the chair and you look like Nightmare Before Christmas on your back, I get why you're like in pain and shit like that. So.
Oh my God, I'll give Aaron Glenn's grade a 5 out of 10. What's up? That's the only good thing Aaron Glenn's at. Good at. This is also damn thing. What do you think, Big Chow?
This is a nightmare.
Mad Max wants to buy your ticket.
I'll pay you 25.
I won't go under 100.
Or $105. Does that sound good, Big Show?
105?
Yes. I'm just negotiating with Big Show. I'll buy your ticket,
We always expect to lose. Will we ever be a winner? Figure this out, Woody. This team is shit.
We are back at Radio Row. Appreciate both Brian Billick and Mike Smith, two successful head coaches, including a Super Bowl winning head coach in Billick, joining us. Appreciate everyone who's tuned in thus far. Follow along behind-the-scenes coverage on our Instagram account at Jake Asman Show. I'm about to reshare one of our IG posts that our producer Justin Morris has been working on this week. We're live at Radio Row. Appreciate everyone who is tuned in. This is the 7th Radio Row that I broadcasted from. I wish we had this live. So Joe Flacco was walking by before, and I yelled, "Joe, you missed the Jets," and he laughed to give me a wave. And I wish we got that on camera, but we were in the commercial break. But if we see Joe Flacco running along, we're going to try and grab him. All right, we're going to try and make that happen. But got some super chats to get into here, and I definitely want to get some of your calls. If you want to weigh in on the Frank Reich hire, that's the news of the day for the Jets. Reich hired as the offensive coordinator, so Glenn has an OC, and he does have a DC in the Duke, Brian Duker, but we know Glenn is going to, in all likelihood, be the play caller on defense. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. Again, live from San Fran. We'll have coverage throughout the week. I'll be joined by Brian Costello, Jet fans, this afternoon. We'll get his thoughts on the latest with the Jets. He's been on the beat as long as anyone besides Samini. Brian Costello since 2011. Coincidentally, the Jets playoff drought, what year did it start? 2011. So it's all Kaz's fault. Big fella, super chat. People pissed at Robert Kraft for not getting into the Hall of Fame. Must forget he got a massage parlor handies F the Pats. Well, that doesn't make you not a Hall of Famer, though. Right? Like, it's not a good look, obviously. But if Jerry Jones is in the Hall of Fame, how is Robert Kraft not in the Hall of Fame? Robert Kraft obviously has won more Super Bowls. Robert Kraft has hired now another coach that has taken his team to the Super Bowl. He went to the Super Bowl with Bill Parcells before Belichick was even the head coach, right? I'm not going to sit here and, like, be that upset Robert Kraft didn't get in. I don't really care. But, like, think about it. If Jerry Jones is in the Hall of Fame, if there's now a precedent for owners to be Hall of Famers, then how isn't Robert Kraft in the Hall of Fame, if we're being honest? That, to me, is the only thing. Like, how is he not in the Hall of Fame? Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. $5 super chats are actually 10 today in regards of raffle tickets. We need some entries in here. We are giving away, in honor of Frank Reich being hired, a Jets jersey at the end of the stream. A daily raffle. Namath, Klecko, Martin, Corbett, Revis, Mangold, Keyshawn. Those are your options. Alien Joker says, can we stop the Cousins of the Jets talk? Let that bum rot somewhere else. That was the same guy who used us to get leverage in contract talks. Then he was bragging about it. F him. I mean, that was like 8 years ago, though. Again, it's a different time. Cousins might be the best of what they could get. He might be the best option. So we just got to be realistic. I don't know how much better you're going to do than Cousins. All right. That's kind of how I look at it. I don't know. Like, I'd rather Cousins than Kyler Murray. Cousins at least could throw a pass, be durable, stay into the pocket. I don't know. Again, the options aren't great. Bino says Kraft is a Hall of Famer at Sue Young's Rub and Tug on Route 19. Jesus. Jesus. Chat is feisty today, I see. My God. Comments, questions, super chats. Appreciate all of you tuned in. I want to play a clip from Boomer Esiason on The Fan this morning. For those just tuning in live, this was Boomer discussing his dinner last night with Reich, and this was before Reich was officially hired earlier today.
We spent about 2.5 hours together just going through pretty much everything. You know, he thought he had a great interview yesterday, really appreciated the professionalism, understood exactly what was going on over there, that they had Darrell Bevel in, that they had Greg Roman in, and they were doing all their due diligence on everybody, making sure that the right guy is going to be hired. And he said he was thoroughly impressed with the building, with the practice facility. He was actually blown away by it. Like, you know, you don't realize, like, when we go over there, we kind of take it for granted.
Well, yeah, and we've been there several times. We know what it is now, yeah.
Yeah, and this is the first time he was exposed to that type of thing. And he was like, wow, this is really amazing. Like, and, you know, everybody has a perception of what's going on and everything else. All I can tell you is that the dinner we had last night, he said it was the interview, the timing, the questions, the in-depth aspects of what is trying to get done over there, he came away really impressed. And he's been in a number of interviews, and he felt like this one was really well done, and he felt good about it, felt very confident about it. And, hopefully, like I was telling you yesterday, I said 24 to 48 hours.
Yes.
So now we're starting into the 48-hour part of this.
Yes.
And I figured today that the Jets would make a decision one way or the other. I think I know which way they're going to go. But, you never are, I think, totally comfortable until the ink hits the paper.
Again, I've said this for years. The Jets do have great facilities. Like Woody Johnson, you could criticize him for a lot of things, but like he wants to win. He has spent money on the organization. They do have state-of-the-art facilities. They just added state-of-the-art locker rooms to renovate it last year. Like the issue continues to be Woody hiring the wrong people. I don't think James Dolan magically became a great owner with the Knicks. I think he finally got it right with the people he put in charge of his organization. Are the Pagulas great owners? They have the longest playoff drought in hockey with the Buffalo Sabres right now. Did you hear that press conference? Why they fired McDermott? How big of a bleep show that was? Or did they just luck into the fact they got it right, seemingly, with McDermott for all those years and Brandon Bean, and they drafted Josh Allen? Like, again, these owners are all not great. They're just not. There's very few, like, quote-unquote great owners, in my opinion. I just think at the end of the day, when you look at where the Jets are, it comes down to the fact they routinely hire the wrong people. That, to me, is continuing to be the biggest thing. More of your calls right now. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to say hello to a man we call Mikey Midnight.
Hello, I'm Mikey. I'm Bobby's little bro. Have you seen Jake Graves? She's so beautiful. I love my boy Jake, but not in a gay way. I am so happy. I'm not going to touch anything, I promise.
Mikey, how is it that I see you off air, then the intro starts playing, and then you vanish? There you are, Mikey. We can't hear you. Unmute your mic. I can't hear you, Mikey. Please unmute your microphone. Please. No. Mikey, that mustache is outstanding. It's fantastic. I love it. It's a beautiful stash. It really is. Mikey. Ugh. He's gone. We got to get this figured out, man. We got Asmaniac Madness coming up in a few short months. Damn. All right, we can't get Mikey. But I know who we could go to. A man they call the Beast.
You can kiss my big, big ass. Woo! Stogie action, ain't it?
That's not a stogie.
Yeah. The little Slim Jim, but I call it stogie.
That's a Slim Jim? How many Slim Jims you putting down today, Beast?
That is the only one I got left until Monday. I got to go pick some up on Monday while I'm out in Boy Bank. Tomorrow, I'm going to go see the cardiologist at McNeil. And then I'm also, after that, I might pick up a pizza. Yeah. Man's kind of pizza. Yo, the good stuff. Not that lame-ass, weak, non-garbagey, trashy heap, made by spiritual, satanic lunatics that think wind chimes are a musical instrument. And I'm also going to stop at Familia Market, a little Mexican store, see if they got my big steaks in. I'm talking the good steaks, the good stuff. No wimpy, gimpy crap. We're going to go for the good stuff. And Frank Reich. The last time I seen Frank Reich was, I think it was the 1993 heavyweight fight where the Bills came back out of middle of nowhere and knocked out.
Thank you, Beast. Enjoy the Slim Jims. Anthony Logerato is in the house. He gifted 5 memberships. Everything is double as we are in Radio Row or at Radio Row's Super Bowl content. Raffle at the end of the show for a Jets jersey. Mega raffle Friday in honor of the big game. Anthony, this is for you. Let's go. If you hear your name called, Anthony made you a channel member and you should thank him. J-Bo, kick out the jams. Joe, Darnell Baker, Mag NYG, Elijah Lonzo, you all are channel members. So we appreciate Anthony, and thank you to everyone who's tuned in live to our Radio Row coverage. I got my producer working on some big guests right now. Who's going to appear on the show? You never know. You got to stay tuned. Right now, though, I'll tell you who's going to appear on this live show. It's Philly Noodles. He's the next caller. What's up, Philly?
It's good, man. Good interviews for sure, dude. Beef needs to calm down. I had some cauliflower pizza from Blaze Pizza the other night. Shit was really good. It was banging. It's wimpy, but great flavor. Eating right is good. I've lost like 26 pounds recently, so I don't know. Beast you gotta switch it up, dude. The Frank Reich situation is interesting now to see what they do with a QB scenario. You know what I mean? I wonder if they're cool with the veteran market, or if they really think he'll have like his last tutelage. If he can really like train a young quarterback, so maybe they do take a stab at Ty Simpson. You know what I mean? After the combine and evaluation. I don't know what you think about that.
I think Ty Simpson is certainly in play. I just hope he's not in play at 16. I feel like that'd be too early for him.
Yeah.
Maybe if he starts to slide, they could trade back in. I don't want to reach on a quarterback this year. I do think they're going to take one. I think, gun to my head right now, one of their 2 second-round picks goes towards a quarterback. That's kind of my feel going into, pre-free agency next month.
Yeah, and I feel like he has like a type, right? You know what I mean? He definitely has a type, bigger quarterback, a little more stationary. I don't know. There's a few of them like that in the draft, but it feels like the top, beside Mendoza, the rest of the guys that could fall, like Chambliss or even Simpson's a little bit smaller. What he's like, almost about 6'3", I think. Just about 6'3". I don't know. Something screams to me that it could just be the trade market. I wouldn't mind seeing a Davis Mills scenario. If they bring in Cousins, if he gets shaken loose, which is probably going to happen. Whatever the case may be, at that point, whatever they could do. Yeah, I don't know. Let's hope.
How would you feel about Cousins as a Jet fan?
I'm all right with that, man. I mean, I think, listen, a lot of scenario people will say, well, why couldn't you just bring back Rodgers? Obviously, right? But he just has more pep still. He's still got, he's got a little bit more longevity. If you keep the pocket solid, he should be okay. It's more about getting playmakers in it, because whoever touches the ball needs to be electric. So I would love to see a Mekhi Lemon scenario. Omar Cooper Jr. as a receiver for him. Whatever they can do. You know what I mean? If they can grab Kyle Pitts, that'd be freaking sick. Or even Isaiah Likely to round out that tight end room.
I like the idea of adding Pitts, by the way. Like, if you can get him, put him in the room with Taylor and just try and continue to dummy-proof the overall offense. People might think I'm nuts, but, I'd rather just overpay for a guy that I know is solid than, Mason Taylor takes another big step in year 2. Let's just get Cousins, a pro, and just surround the offensive weaponry with as good as that's how Fitzpatrick had this breakout year. Decker, Brandon Marshall, Chris Ivory, Quincy Enunwa, they had good players for him.
That's right. I mean, you even look at a Tannehill scenario. You know what I mean? He had some weapons that came out of nowhere. Not crazy,
Derrick
but
Henry. Yeah, AJ Brown, Derrick Henry.
I mean, it's interesting. It's interesting to see what happens with running back scenario too with Brees. If he really gets taken from somewhere else, at least they could tag him and trade him. Jeremiah Love scenario would be crazy if he fell to 16. I know it's very rich, but if he really was able to fall, that would be a hell of a grab. But
not wrong.
Yeah. But man, I say enjoy the rest of your time over there again.
Billy, appreciate the call, man. Thanks to everyone for tuning in, for the nice words about our Radio Row shows. Jet fans, Hendon Hooker was a guest on the show yesterday. I also recorded an interview with Christopher Mad Dog Russo. So he was a guest. I'll air that interview on the channel in a few days. I'm going to play it on radio on my Sunday show with Mike T, Mike Tannenbaum. Thunderlips in the house. I just showed the medical assistant working with me some of the show. 2 minutes, she saw Mikey and B. She has many questions, all of which are too hard to answer. It's a show that is tough to explain to those who don't watch it regularly. For instance, at any given moment, you might see something along the lines like this. You might see something along the lines like this.
Oh,
You might even see maybe this.
I got gas right now. Oh.
And then you might see like a Super Bowl winning head coach sit down next to me. Like you really never know what you're going to get around here. Pretty amazing. Thunderlips in the raffle for 4. Everything is boosted. Everything is double the fun. We're going to do a raffle coming up here. This is our first long stream of the day, long form show. Obviously, breaking news. We opened talking about Frank Reich being hired, and look, raises the floor. Best of what was available, to be kind. That's how I'd look at it. Radio Row, by the way, folks, it is getting crazy here. Give people a little idea, a little feel. I mean, it is. It is nuts. That's me. We got James Harrison, Bob Trossett, Joe Hayden, my producer extraordinaire, Justin. He got us some of that delicious Craig from Australia, Melbourne, NFL coffee. Give people a little feel behind the scenes here. Like, it is all happening. All of it. You'd be surprised the madness that is Radio Row. Hold on. Just realized I was not holding the camera straight. Do. Justin, you working hard to get us a big name guest? I promised the chat we're working on some big things here. Dave Portnoy's in here. Let's get him on and boo him. Boo. What else we got? Someone with the zone. Interesting. Yeah, it's crazy here, man. It really is. It really is. You got Bob Trossett doing his thing. Still hasn't paid rent for using the corner of this table. It's unbelievable. All right. Last chance to get in here. We will do the raffle coming up shortly. I'm going to begin counting the names. We're going to be back, obviously, this afternoon, my time, probably towards the evening on the East Coast, with another live show talking all things New York Jets and some of the fallout from Frank Reich being hired. I know Brian Costello is scheduled to join me, so we'll obviously get his insider opinion on the Frank Reich hire. Super Chats cut the line. They also get you in the raffle, so last chance for that. Ladies and gentlemen, Frank Reich hire. Grade it, 1 to 10. Yay or nay? Give me some numbers in the chat. How we feeling? Zach Asman says we want more Bobby T. He's working hard right now. He's live on his show. Bobby's the biggest Baltimore Ravens content creator. Hold on. I saw some movement on the Mikey Midnight front. Let me try and get him on real quick. Mikey, are you there? Mikey. 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 God, he's not there. All right, some numbers quickly evaluating Reich. 7 out of 8 from BP. Dion, 4.5. Jets Johnny, 10 out of 10. Where's my bootlicker drop for that one? 10 out of 10.
Who wanna lick my boots?
BP York, 6.5. Pohack, 7. JD, 7. I'll grade on a curve, given the options. I would say 6.5. Better than Greg Roman or Darrell Bevel. Like, I'll give the Jets that. That's for sure. Gator says, who'll be this year's Jameis Winston? I don't know. I don't know. You know what's unfortunate? We talked about this with Connor Rogers yesterday. When we discuss quarterback options, the names that people throw out most commonly, they're all under contract. Mac Jones under contract. Jameis Winston, Jacoby Brissett under contract. Like, all the good backups are on 2-year deals. I've never seen anything like this. Those guys are available every year until this year when the Jets legitimately need to sign like a higher end bridge to get them through a year. And for Glenn to try and win enough games so we could get a third year as the 8C of the Jets. Ladies and gentlemen, Chad Ochocinco has entered the arena here. There he is. Darrelle Revis shut him down many times. Many of times. There he is. Ocho in the house. Justin, well, you got to produce. Go grab the mic. Here we go. Let's see if we can get Chad Ocho on the show right now. Hey, Chad. Hey, Chad. How good was Darrelle Revis? The best ever. Look at this. Hey, turn off this ring light right here. Let's do some live producing. I don't know where the ring light button is. It's James Harrison as well, a Jets nemesis. Justin, kill the ring light. There we go. Too bright.
Keep going, sir. You're going to drive this.
Look at this. Madness here. Yeah.
No, you're good. You're good.
You get Justin. What are you doing here?
He's talking. I don't want to interrupt.
Blame him. You stick the mic in, and you say, "Hey, turn around, Chad." And I'll say,
I don't want to get in between these two massive.
Darrelle Revis back-to-back weeks. Was that your worst nightmare in 2009?
He's going to be here for the next couple of days. We'll get him on the show. We'll get him on.
We better. Look at this. We got two fierce competitors going at it over there. Everyone blame Justin. I was ready, folks. You guys know I am not afraid to say anything to anyone.
Yeah, blame the Bills guy.
Yeah, Justin, a Bills fan, producing the show this week. Completely screwed that one up. Look at this, though. It's crazy. Madness in here. Hey, Chad.
Hey, Ocho, can we get a question?
Can we talk to you about Darrelle Revis? Biggest Jets podcast in the universe right here.
Just one question.
Oh, I think we might have some movement here. Gator says Justin is not paid enough to shove a big stick in Chad's face.
I can do it right now. I'm supposed to do this.
Look at this. I was going to count the raffle names, but this is more exciting. Oh, Shannon's here too. Oh, now it's really going to be a bleep show in our area. Being neighbors with Shannon Sharp and Chad Ochocinco and Bobby Trossett is not paying rent. It's unbelievable.
Mind if I get one, Ocho?
Look at this. This is the face of failure, folks. We had our window. We had our window.
Hey, we got 2 more days. We got time.
All right, Justin.
We got time.
Justin's confident. You're confident we're going to get him, Justin.
And I want some respect from the chat.
mic.
I'm going to want some respect from the chat once we get him.
Be a pro, Justin. Be a pro.
We're here. As you can tell, this is my my first day here at Radio Row with the Jake Asman Show. We're loving it. We're enjoying it. We're having a ball. We're having a ball.
Things are happening here.
Shan's got some crazy pants on. I'm loving it, though. Let's see if there's anybody over here we can talk to, huh?
Yeah, please. Let's get the walk and talk ready here.
As of right now, I'm just seeing a bunch of random media members.
We're going to watch Justin work here. Can he produce on the fly? See, this is normally me when I'm off air, folks. I'm running around all day. But I'm live right now doing a show for the people. We're doing a little man in the street with Justin.
Let's see here, guys. What are the odds that a Jets legend walks by right now? Shock the world.
Probably unlikely.
Probably unlikely.
Matt Stofsky, come over here. Talk to Matt.
You get a question here, Matt?
Yeah, Matt. Who do you like in the game Sunday?
Patriots.
You're sick.
Well, because at this point, it's just to ruin the Jets' life. So I'm very sorry
You're a
for you.
disgrace to the profession. Okay, give us back the mic. We don't want you on the show anymore. You're a disgrace. Absolute disgrace. What else we have here? Oh, James Harrison. James, let's talk about the 2010 AFC Championship game. To this day, I still can't watch the highlights. It's one of the worst moments of my life. The absolute worst. Skip and Shannon over here. They're doing their thing. Not Skip and Shannon. I mean, Shannon and Ocho. Nightcap taping some stuff. What else do we have here? I'll do the one-man mic stuff myself. You want something done right, you do it yourself. Are people enjoying this, by the way? There's nothing planned here. I was going to end the show, but then I just figured I think people would like to see the behind-the-scenes of Radio Row. Why not? Trying to see who's walking by, who we can get. I don't know where Justin's right there. He's trying to help us find someone. Justin, are you confident that we'll be able to get someone before this live stream ends?
And so confident. 1 on 100 out of 100. We're getting somebody here.
Okay, Justin says he's confident.
We're getting somebody.
This is like one of those like blogs or vlogs that you see on the internet. Oh, it's Demario Davis, former Jet. There we go. Some random people I don't recognize. But Demario Davis is over here. Former Jet Demario Davis. That's a guy we could definitely try and get on. Huge mistake when the Jets let him go. But what else is new? Oh, here we go. Colton Evans is here. I saw this kid when he was like in elementary school for the last time. And now show off the day pass. How did you get into Radio Row?
I'm Colton Evans from the Jake Asman Show. We are bringing WKWZ all the way to San Francisco right now. This is a very historic moment, right, Jake?
Cole, what are you, like 12 now? How old are you?
12? I'm almost 22. You're
Wow.
close. You're right there.
Unbelievable.
I haven't even watched the Jets playoff game with my own eyes, so there you go. I'm that old.
Your thoughts on the Frank Reich hire, Cole? Last time he was good, you were in elementary school.
Well, coming straight from around the corner here at Stanford, we're talking about that power struggle constantly having this power struggle. And my most interesting takeaway from this whole coaching carousel within the Jets right now is how Aaron Glenn almost didn't trust himself to run the offense and the defense. And now he's taking the full reins on the defensive end. And you have to imagine that conversation with Woody, Jake. He goes right in and Woody's like, are you serious? You want to hire a veteran defensive coordinator like Wink Martindale? I'm paying you enough money. You better run the team or else you're getting canned.
They're calling you Mike Clone in the chat right now.
I'm sure they've heard that one before. That's awesome.
I love it. This is hard to do. The mic and the camera. I got Justin talking to people right here. It's supposed to be his job to hold the mic here. You're producing
hold the
now,
mic,
all right?
yeah, right?
You're going to hold the mic, Cole. We're putting you to work right away.
Working it, right?
All right. If we see someone we know, your job is to handle that mic, and I'm going to point the camera at them, and I'm going to interview them.
Who should we be on the lookout for?
Well, anyone right now. This is how we're ending our stream today with a little man on the street Radio Row style. Last year we got Jameis Winston on the show. That was a big success. Then he signed with the Giants.
Let's see who's around here right now.
Cole's doing a better job than Justin right now. He's taking some ownership. He wants to be the man on the street guy. What else do we have here?
Let's see who we got. I'll do a better scouting job than Joe Douglas right now.
Look at this sea of people that are here to produce this one show. Unbelievable.
Who are we looking for, Jake? Like a creator, a player?
Anyone that we think could bring the energy, the passion that is Radio Row Super Bowl week in a nutshell, Cole. We're looking for great content. The audience, the Asmaniacs, we'll talk to anyone.
Let's see who we got here.
I paid $1,100 for this Wi-Fi call, so we're going to put it to the test here. We're going to use it.
Let's see who we got.
There we go. Run over to Ariel right there. Ariel and Kelly, they're supposed to join us later. Cole, man on the street.
How's it going?
Go up to them right now. Hand them a mic.
All right, guys. Can I
Hand them
interview
the
too?
microphone. You can interview. Why not? He's my intern.
Come on, guys.
Come on.
We have to do this.
Come
It's for the
on.
Jake Asman Show.
Talk to
You're
my
live
intern,
right now on
Ariel.
the Jake Asman Show.
This is unfortunately what we're working with.
We're asking the question of the day on how long you think it will take for the Jets to make it back to the playoffs.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You just said he's live.
Oh, he's live?
Yeah, we're live.
I can't say Jesus Christ on air?
You can. You can say whatever you want.
Oh, no. A long time.
How dirty are your guys' mouths? Jeez.
8 years.
Another 8 years?
Over on 8 years? Wow.
How many?
You're a plagued organization. You just say plagued.
I think the real question
It's like the
is
Raiders.
Who's
They're a
going to win
plagued
the Super Bowl first, them or the Browns? That's the real question.
Ooh.
That's where we're going to compare it to.
Well, you're the Todd Monken expert, Ariel. You're the Ravens fan. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I love Todd Monken.
You're a Todd fan?
Yeah,
I
like
don't
Todd.
know. I heard that nobody should trust him, and he's going to be an awful head coach, and he has no history of winning Super Bowls.
Well, he's won a national championship.
You
Oh, that joke. Yeah, it's still early. Sorry, missed the joke.
I like the outfits you guys have, by the way. Splash, splish, splash. Take
Tell
them
them about Splash Sports.
No, they're going to tell us that later. We have them scheduled on
Oh,
the show.
I didn't know that.
Cole just got here. He just put him to.
I'm new in the job.
He's a new intern.
We will see you at your show.
Yeah,
when we have
1, 2 o'clock.
There's something like that.
I'll look at my schedule.
We'll see you then.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen,
see you.
a little
Great to meet
preview.
you guys.
Kelly in Vegas. Ariel Epstein. They'll be on the show later today.
All right, that's a start, Jake, right?
You did a good job. See, that's what I need you to do, Cole. Be a go-getter. You hold the mic, and I'll ask the tough questions. Do you have anything to say, Cole?
What?
Do you have anything to say?
Are we,
camera's
are we
just
still
pointed at you
getting?
right now.
Are we? I'm reading the chat. Are we still getting clone comments or no?
I think people were impressed with your ability to hold the mic. Now let's give it back to Justin. See how he can
All right,
handle
Justin.
a man on the
Appreciate
street
it.
here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Also,
Looking around here, let's see if we can find anybody.
Yeah, give us someone. Give me
Got
someone.
Demario Davis is
Dan
still going
Orlovsky. There he is. Dan, can we get a 30-second
30
comment
seconds.
of Frank Reich to the Jets? We need your thoughts. 30 seconds.
I like his experience. You got to find a quarterback.
Who's the quarterback?
TBD. When are the Jets making the playoffs? When the
Dan Orlovsky, everybody. Friend of the show. That's what we need. Good job. How far does Mike actually go, Dan?
I don't want to just run out there and.
Let me see. That's about the farthest you could get.
Okay.
All right, so you stay right there.
Yes, sir.
All right, you man on the street this thing. And now, Cole, I'm going to put you on camera duty. You're going to hold this, and you got to point it at Justin so we can kind of follow. But you have only a selective gift. All right. So now
Yes.
we're going to one-man band this thing. Point it up. You got to.
Well, we got many people walking by here. Unfortunately, do not recognize any of these people.
There you go. Hold it.
Let's
Point it
see.
at Justin, and as
Some
people
big
walk
names.
by,
I will say I did see David Portnoy earlier at the Australian coffee shop in the front of the building.
That's good. As people walk by
He
here,
had so many people, but
Cole now has the camera
All right.
directed at you. So you'll hand the
go.
mic. I will
Sounds good.
ask the questions as people are walking by. We are
Alrighty.
going to man on the street this to
we
the
got a
end.
nice
Great.
little system going here now. That's exactly what we need.
Here we go. As people are walking by, we will get them.
Oh, I'm seeing James Harrison and Joe Hayden to my left here taking interviews. If they walk by me,
If they walk by, be ready to pounce.
they're coming on.
Be ready to pounce. The question is whatever comes to my mind first, typically. That's what we're going to be doing here. It really just depends who we see, who's here. I wanted to get Orlovsky's thoughts on Frank Reich. He provided excellent insight there, obviously, that we all saw. How's the chat enjoying this, by the way? Are people, no way. Saleh? That's not Saleh. I was like, come on. They told me Robert Saleh's here. I'm like, I'd love to get him on. That's not
Well, as
Bob
you guys
Saleh.
can see, very hectic here. Very hectic. There's tables to our left. There's tables to our right. Front behind us, we have the nightcap show that just started right behind us here. And there's just people fluctuating everywhere. Everywhere behind us. It's craziness here at Radio Row. It is Wednesday, which they say is the craziest day. We'll see about that. Every day has been a crazier day.
Feedback from the chat. Try and keep the camera as steady as you can. We don't want anyone getting a seizure as they watch this man on the street stuff. So far, we spoke with Dan Orlovsky. We spoke with Ariel and Kelly. And we got some more big names potentially walking by. Who knows? I was going to end the show 20 minutes ago. But at this point, let's keep it rolling. Who do we have here? Who's next?
About to find out.
Point the camera a little further up.
Can we get some guesses of who we think is going to be on next?
I don't know. But I'm looking everywhere.
If you get it correct, you get a Jake Asman sticker and magnet.
We'll give you a March for Art shirt if you guess who is the next person we randomly get on the show. Yeah, how come you haven't bought a shirt, Cole? You're a University of Texas alum, aren't you? UT, hook 'em. Hook 'em. Hook 'em. Hook 'em. There we go. Dan Orlovsky walking by. Point the camera at him. Friend of the show, Dan Orlovsky. Love. This guy's got a boombox. Talk to him. Radio Row is actually out of control right now. This is only a Wednesday.
Hey, Joe, can I get a question, Joe?
Oh, Joe Flacco.
Got Joe Flacco.
Right
Excuse
over
me,
there.
Joe.
Jet legend.
Stu Big.
We need to invest
Jets
in a
legend.
wireless mic. I think that's the next step. Then I'll
Wireless
we'll
mic?
just have you run around.
That might be the play. Yeah.
Pro Bowl quarterback Joe
Yeah.
Flacco. Jet legend. What else do we have here?
It's looking like to my right, not many people. To my left, it's looking pretty stagnant. Not a lot of people moving around, kind of just chit-chatting. And now we have a boombox guy.
Nothing like a boombox guy, folks. Let's go, Justin. He's looking. He's got a view of people. I'm looking around. All right, Demario Davis just got up. He's over there. If we get him coming this way, the former Jet linebacker would be great to talk to.
Gotcha.
So we're scouting out Demario
He's doing a
Davis
build.
over there.
Looks like a build an NFL team with Spatico right now. We'll get him over here.
Dan Mitchell's here.
Oh, Dan Mitchell. Hey, got a question for you here, Dan. When are the Jets making the playoffs next?
So for the New York Jets, I feel like the year 2033 really stands out to me. I think 2033.
Get him off the mic. I don't need him. Also, you're no longer asking questions. That was a bad judge of character there. You don't ask a Bills fan when the Jets are going to make the playoffs. I will handle the question asking. You just hand the guest the mic from now on.
We just wanted to get some Dan Mitchell haters. We need some more Dan Mitchell haters in the comments section. That's all we were looking for here. But we have delegated to Jake. I'm not allowed to even look or talk to you. I'm sorry.
You cannot even look at him. Don't even look at Dan anymore. That's it.
My allegiance have changed, Dan. I'm sorry.
Don't look at him. Don't look at him. Hey, Joe Hayden. Give him the mic.
I have some questions for you, Joe.
Oh, he's live right now on something. Or he's taking a picture.
Yeah. Let me hit you right back, brother. What's up, man?
How we doing?
Good. How are you?
Answer questions here.
Oh, shit.
Joe, let me ask you this.
What's up, man?
What has the Radio Row experience been like for you so
It's
far?
been sweet. It's been sweet, man. Getting to see a lot of people, like famous, everybody, a lot of NFL dudes, a lot of just ESPN guys. You run into people that you see all the time.
We're neighbors this whole week.
Bro,
I mean,
this is dope. We're going to be right behind you.
It's a zoo here. It's
Come
crazy.
on.
You
It's
guys
nice.
bringing the A-listers on a Wednesday.
Brother. And, it's early. If you messing with Shannon Sharp and Ocho, man, those dudes don't play.
Crazy. Now,
Yes.
when you think back to your career, what's the defining memory of you as a player?
I would say my pick versus Tom Brady with the Steelers. That one is that was pretty up there, pretty high up there.
What was it like to play as a Steeler after you obviously spent so many years going against the Steelers in the same division?
It was sweet, man. It was actually good because I got to finally play with Big Ben. I got to play with AB, Le'Veon, and it was dope because I was tired of playing against them, and I got to be able to go be teammates with them.
Last question. What do you got on Sunday?
I got the Seattle Seahawks. Brother. Probably 24-21.
24-21.
Come on, you heard it.
From
You
our
heard
neighbor,
it. You heard it.
Joe Hayden. Checking it out. We appreciate you stopping by the show. There you go. See, that's how we do a man on the street interview, folks. And the man we had on the street happens to be our next door neighbor, Joe Hayden from Debo and Joe, him and James Harrison, doing a podcast, sharing the same
we got
taping
Tyron
space.
Smith right here.
Tyron Smith. He's talking to the Ithaca College kids. Get in there.
Oh, hey.
Get in there.
No, it's all you. Let's let squeeze by.
Thank you so much.
Tyron Smith, what does it feel like to be great?
Man, being Tyron Smith, it's not easy, dog. To be the cyborg, to be that force, potential Hall of Fame player, it's not easy, dog.
What's it like to have handlers dragging you away from interviews?
It's something.
I love Radio Row. This is what Radio Row is all about. I just spill coffee everywhere, too. Hold on, let me finish my coffee here, Justin.
Well, as Jake chugs down this Melbourne coffee here, we're going to be looking for some people. Who are we seeing right now? We have an Eagles head fan over here. I don't know his name.
Have we lowered our standards so low? We just had Tyron Smith and Joe Hayden on. I mean, come on.
Sorry, guys. I'm back on the mic now. Jake is having some technical difficulties with his bag.
No, the bag is fine. I just spilled coffee on it, but
There's Herm Edwards.
Coach Herm is here?
Yeah.
Friend of the show. Where's he at? No, that's Tony Dungy.
Tony Dungy.
You got the wrong black guy. Come on, racist. Herm Edwards is here. It's Tony Dungy. This is why he's an intern. You're off the camera now. This is why Cole is an intern for
Look
the
at this.
Jake
Me and Cole are getting kicked off the mic, camera. Like
unbelievable. That's Herm Edwards. That's Tony Dungy. You got the wrong black guy. Come on. What are we doing here? Anyway, we're gonna give you another chance, Cole. All right, you handle the camera here. Man on the street style.
We got Brandon Marshall coming right now.
Oh, friend of the show. We had him on last year. Let's get him again.
Hey, Brandon, can I ask a couple questions? All right. That's all you. It's all you, man.
Hold on. Jet legend Brandon Marshall, 2015
There
for
we go.
life. Yeah, you know.
You ran that thing off.
2015 for life. Broke every Jet record. Yeah, he knows. Let's go. I got Brian right here. This guy is a media mogul, one of the greats.
I need more Jake Asmans. We need more Jake Asmans in the world. If you want to see a host that's doing it right for Jet Nation, not every team has a Jake Asman to be the voice of the fans. So congratulations for listening to him.
I paid him an enormous amount of money to say that. You guys have no idea.
You got any predictions for this weekend? Hawks. We got Hawks.
Brian Billick walking by, good friend of the show. We've made a lot of friends of the show in this long segment here. Do people enjoy Brandon Marshall? Are people going to forgive my intern for confusing Herm Edwards and Tony Dungy? They don't all look alike, Cole. They don't all look alike. All right? Unbelievable.
That's really bad.
What do we got here? Oh, it's Sean Alexander. Madden 06 for life, or 07. What year was he on Madden? He was on Madden like 06, 07, I'm pretty sure. What else do we have here, Justin? There's Tony Dungy.
It's looking pretty. Yeah, we got Tony Dungy right here talking to a bunch of people. Other than that, it's looking pretty stagnant. We got. It looks like an interstate right here. Just people just going up and down,
Look
up and
at
down.
Cole. He's trying to do
Stands right here.
research on Tony Dungy and Herm Edwards. Can't tell them apart.
Glasses are in the bag.
Let's see. What do we have here? I'll stay with us for a couple more minutes, folks. And we actually do have some real scheduled interviews that we're going to be doing on the show today. I promise. Tony Dungy, there he is.
Tony Dungy, how
The
we
great
doing?
Tony Dungy. All right, friend of the show now. Got the thumbs up. Thanks for not voting in Belichick. I love it. Very stupid on your part, but I love it as a Jet fan. What do we have here? Got some people in suits. Love it. Love it. See, everyone's going to be gathering around our table because we're neighbors with Chad.
We got Michael
Ochocinco.
Irvin walking by over there.
Get me the playmaker.
He's going far deep.
Give me the playmaker. What else do we have here? We'll stay with us for another couple minutes here, folks. Oh, the great Ryan Leaf is here. Ryan, how are you? I'm lovely. How are you? Ryan Leaf, friend of the show, says he's lovely. What else do we have here? I love that we're just doing this on a webcam, too, by the way.
Yeah,
It's
right.
objectively hilarious. Most bootleg, man on the street type of interviews we've ever had. What else do we have here? There we go. I love your hat, sir.
Phenomenal fedora, sir.
Love your hat.
We got Debo.
Debo.
Debo, why are we hiding, Debo?
Debo, you're a ghost. What do we have here? Cole, I'm going to give you back the camera here. All right. Just make sure you capture the magic of it all. All right. Hold it straight. Get the perspective over there. Also,
Well-
Justin, I need you to start grabbing them too. Like you go, just
grab 'em.
Grab this guy right here. This is the biggest name we're going to
I
have on
gotta
today.
grab you, gotta
Give him
grab
the mic. Give him the mic. This is Dustin Sweetelson. The man has
Hello.
revolutionized sports gambling.
That's
hanging
right.
out with Lisa Ann and much more. Dustin, how are you?
I am doing dandy, Jake. How are we doing, buddy?
You know, we're man on the street radio rowing right now. Have you seen our neighbors, Shannon Sharp and Chad Ochocinco over there?
My favorite tradition of Super Bowl Radio Row is that Jake Asman will always be here, and until the day he dies, he will never be here for a Jets Super Bowl.
Never. That's the fun in it all.
And you're actually getting further away every year from being here.
Well, I didn't think it could somehow get worse, but this year the Jets were like, hold my beer, because it has gotten worse. But now we have the great Frank Reich who was hired today. Your thoughts?
Oh, it's gone really well last time around for Frank Reich. What was the game plan with Carson Wentz? Hey, man, I don't know what we should do here. Just throw it in the air and hope for a PI call. That's the last I remember Frank Reich calling plays. Yeah, it appears people don't want to be a part of the organization anymore. And as a Mets fan, I just want to say thank you. You are the most dysfunctional organization in the New York area, which takes a lot of pressure off.
You're a Giants fan, I believe, right?
I am a Giants fan.
Yeah, your thoughts on Matt Nagy? You could enjoy Matt Nagy's greatness with Jackson Dart?
I'm not going to hate it. Like Giants fans love to hate things because they know more than everyone. Just ask their mothers who they live with. But I'm not against it completely. I like the credibility. We'll see how creative he can be. You obviously look a lot better when you're calling plays for Patrick Mahomes, but I'm also not going to hold it against him that he was also calling plays for Justin Fields, as you just lived through. That is a bit of a difficult situation.
Yeah.
So I think the Giants hiring Nagy, it was the most responsible move I think that they can make. Maybe not the highest upside, but I'd say this. Do you see parallels between the New York Giants and the New England Patriots? You bring in a credible head coach, John Harbaugh, Mike Vrabel, who's won somewhere before. You have a second-year mobile quarterback, Drake May, Jackson Dart. You have a roster that doesn't have a ton of holes. That's kind of the irony of this whole thing. Giants are like 80-1 to win the Super Bowl next year. I'm not saying they will, but I'm not saying that they shouldn't be expected to make the playoffs and win 11 games.
Look at this delusion. Talking Super Bowl, deep playoff runs.
11 wins.
You're unbelievable. Who do you like in the game Sunday?
I love New England.
Really?
Everyone's caught up in the football. This game has nothing to do with, look around. This has nothing to do with football.
Well, the game's not being played inside a giant convention center.
2 weeks mitigates that gap in terms of Seattle being better. Seahawks are a better football team. X's and O's, 100%. There's no doubt about it. The difference in this game is I love the rallying cry. I love the underdog mentality. I think it is a low-scoring defensive game. Give me New England. I bet it +5 as soon as it got up to that number. I also like Kenneth Walker over receiving yards. I love Hunter Henry to go nuts. My favorite long shot, Hunter Henry, 15-1 most receiving yards in the game and 110-1 to be the MVP.
Dustin Sweetelson, the star of VSiN, with the betting breakdown on the big game. Thank you, sir.
You're a beautiful man.
You're very handsome. Very handsome. Cole, take over the mic here. You're man on the streeting now. Let's see
All
if
right.
we can get one more
See what
big
we
name
can get.
guest before we wrap this baby up here. I still got to do the raffle. So it's all
I think
happening.
I should look this way or that way.
Well, you gotta keep your head on a swivel.
I'll go left. You got right.
All right,
All right, good.
Look at
That's
these
a good
guys.
plan. Look at that teamwork right
Look
there.
at these guys trying to divvy up how we're going to break this down. Unbelievable. Who's that? This guy's big. Football player? Is that Max Mitchell? No, it's not. Might be the only Jet representation we can get this morning. Although Brandon Marshall is here. We had him on briefly. Little 2015 Jets for life. Bob Trossett still working hard here. Look at him. He's working. Shannon is working. Ocho is working. All the things are happening. They really are. Cole is here. You confused Herm Edwards and Tony Dungy earlier. You hate to see it.
They're going to think I'm Jake Asman next.
You're mini me, Cole. You are mini me. Who's walking around here? I'm looking. Who do we have? Last chance to make some noise at Radio Row in our morning stream. Things are happening here. Look at all this. You wouldn't believe the amount of people it takes apparently to do a podcast. Meanwhile, I just realized the camera got unplugged here as I was moving it around. Stand by, people. Hold on. You guys should still be able to hear me, but you can't see me. Let me switch the cams momentarily here. There we go. I got to get my other cam plugged back in here. We're on the tripod right now. You guys can see Cole is behind me. Oh, my, this tank. What did this happen? Oh, there we go. Little spinorama. All right. I'll let Cole kind of man the man on the street behind us here, and I will check out the chat. Big fella says, Jake, you are in a prime location. Hoax, Cole likes the Jaguar. Looks like the Jaguars GM on draft day. Veteran Jeff and Giants hired 2 mid-coordinators. Amanda Madison, Jake, you're doing great, sweetie. Jay says this guy is drunk. Yeah, Dustin was probably drunk. I should have asked him about Tish and Epstein. You're right. New Q is calling Dustin Tubby. I'll be sure to relay that message to him. Fred Warner's right here. Oh, go get Fred Warner. Do I want Fred Warner? Yeah. Was the Pope Catholic?
Fred is currently talking to his handler right now. Feel like should wait a second here.
Fred, what does Robert Salas smell like? Fred. All right, I'm counting raffle names. So on a serious note, we are going to spin the wheel because I got to wrap up our first stream here, and we'll get set for our afternoon Radio Row soiree. As you guys can see, it is only getting crazier. It is only getting busier. The madness is only continuing here at Super Bowl Radio Row. I'm not having a whole lot of faith in Justin's ability to get Fred. Forget it, Justin.
I thrive.
Come back to the man on the street here. Get out there. All right, get on the street. Cole, keep your eyes peeled for someone we can talk to. Justin, you get back out there. All right, let's go. Here we go.
Let's see what we can find.
Who can we talk to? Chaos here. Absolute chaos. We're man on the streeting. Inside Radio Row.
Hey, Richie.
Richie from Jets Media. He was already on the show.
Yeah, we are live.
Oh, what up, Jake?
We're talking Jets.
What's up, man?
Talking Jets?
How are you?
I'm not on camera, am I?
You're on camera.
I was just here earlier. Let's go. Frank Reich, baby. Offensive coordinator. Shout out to the Asmaniacs. Hit that thumbs up button for my boy Jake, baby.
I love that it's
Thank you very
Frank
much.
Reich,
I appreciate
offensive
it.
coordinator.
I'm cool.
That's the hype
Cole
during the
with the
Super
Jake
Bowl.
Asman show?
With the Jake Asman.
That's
Nice.
my intern,
Oh,
Richie.
awesome.
That's
The
my
unofficial
intern.
today.
Yeah. You got my boy Justin with you, my roundtable intern with
Love
you
it.
guys. Let's
There
do
we
it.
go.
How you doing?
All right. All right. You can put the mic, Cole, put the mic back on the stand here. I got a raffle to do.
Calling it?
Yeah, I'm calling it. We'll be back with more Man on the Street this afternoon. I think it was a fun segment because of the chaos of Radio Row. We did have Brandon Marshall on and Dan Orlovsky and Joe Hayden. So that was fun. Let's see here. Raffle names are being counted. I'm going to play a quick commercial break. We come back and we reward someone with a Jets jersey of their choosing. Jake Asman with you. We're back right after this.
I'm 17 years old. We used to have great parties at my house. My parents always went out. I'm dating this girl, Beth Ryan. So she's saying to me, Neil, New Year's Eve, we're going to have a lot of sex. We're going to do a lot. I'm counting on you.
I stick up for you every fucking time on your ESPN show. What do you put my face on that thing for? What the fuck was that? The fuck was that? It looks like Bobby. Fuck you. Destroy that picture. I'm fucking happy 2003. I play your great host and look like shit you do to me. Goodbye.
I didn't do this. I said it looks like you. It's Beth Ryan, Neil's former lover that never was.
Here comes JJ. He's here to talk about the Jets. He's putting Justin Fields in the Football Hall of Fame. Here comes JJ. You know he's Gary's biggest fan. Beast loves cornrows and the crappy Wi-Fi. Here comes JJ. He loves the sound of his voice. Here comes JJ. Most of these calls end bad, so let's get it over with.
Just seconds after seeing the intro, JJ let Gator know exactly what he thought.
That was terrible. I'm disappointed because over the years I've given this show a lot of memorable moments. He had a lot to pull from. Not a fan of that intro. We're going to go to the playoffs, and if we don't, then I'll cut my hair.
Wait a second. If the Jets don't make the playoffs, you'll cut your hair?
Yeah, I'll cut it all off. I'll just one by one chop it off. Man of my word, I'll stick to it.
A few months later.
When are you shaving your head?
Yeah, okay. Believe that if you want to.
You
I'm
said
not,
it.
So what? I'm not a man of my word. I don't care.
You lied to this community. Why won't you shave your hair? I don't understand.
My wife won't let me do it. She said, that's stupid. You should have never said that. That's not happening.
I'm really going to try to tone it down tonight.
Hey, here's the deal. Just got no chance unless you click on that like button. And you got to make sure you subscribe to the Jake Asman Show. You don't, you can get the f*** out. Now let's go, Asmaniacs. We're built for this shit.
Live at Radio Row. Let me switch the cameras around here. We got this guy right behind us. Don't know who he is. Love it. Fantastic. That is what Radio Row is all about. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to bring on our master of raffle ceremony, spin the wheel of champions, and someone is going to get a Jets jersey.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen of the entire Jake Asman world, from the east to the west to all the way down to Japan. Are we ready?
Ready.
time. Are we ready to spin the 2026 Wheel of Champions?
It's time to announce the winners of the weekly
I got these
Asmaniac
doopies. I couldn't wait.
Raffle.
Here we go.
Let's spin the Jake Asman Show Wheel of Champions and find out which Asmaniac is winning an epic prize.
Here we go. Thank you to everyone who entered yesterday during our Tech Issue show, our second stream, and of course, everyone who entered this morning in our Frank Reich reaction show. I don't think I actually added Thunder Lips. I just realized this. So Thunder Lips, I'm going to give you your 4 entries on the fly right here for your $10 super chat. That is double the fun. Ladies and gentlemen, all the names have been entered. Good luck to all. Only one Asmaniac can win. If you win, email me your name, your address, your size, and the player you want the jersey in. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner is Frank P. Let's go, Frank. Give him a hug, Woody.
I hug him every day. I hug him every day.
Hey, congratulations to Frank. He's the winner. Give him a jet chant. Let's go. Frank, shoot me an email with the player you want, your size, and address. We will make sure we get the jersey ordered for you. Hey, big thank you to everyone who tuned in. Thank you to all our guests, Brian Billick, Mike Smith, Richie from Jets Media, Brandon Marshall, Joe Hayden, briefly Chad Ochocinco, Dan Orlovsky, briefly Joe Flacco, Tony Dungy, not to be confused with Herm Edwards, Cole. All right. Anyway, wild show. We'll be back this afternoon. More chaos from Radio Row will certainly ensue. I'll talk to you guys then. Again, hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Check out the audio podcast if you've missed anything on either Apple or Spotify. And we'll talk to you this afternoon live from Radio Row. Go Jets. Take it away, John Gruden.
It's Jets, 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 Jets. I love Fireman Ed, too.
Oh, hi. Jake wants me to ask you to click on the like button.
That's right, Lane. And if they don't subscribe to the Jake Asman Show, this team may never win another game. Let's go, Jets.